on in a week, from laundry, fixing damaged kit, repairing holes, cleaning boots. Then they pack the van and take everything they need off to the stadium, ready for game day. They don't get a lot of help when they get in the ground too. Kitmen are the ones unloading a full squad's worth of boots, kit, medical bags, and all the bits the players and coaches will need between the start of the day and switching off the floodlights at the end of the day. First thing they do is organise each player's kit, make it easily accessible in order to avoid any dramas on match day. Once everything's in the right place, it's into the dressing room, lay everything out, put players' nameplates on the right locker, all the things you don't even think about on a match day. Once the players arrive, if anything needs doing, they call the kitman. In the meantime, it's on the kitman to help set up for the warm-up. The coaches don't always have time to lay out all the cones and put the balls in those weird triangle piles you see. As the warm-up is underway, the kitman then becomes a glorified ball boy, chasing stray shots and passes, making sure they aren't lost in the crowds. They eventually do the tidying up too, getting everything off the pitch before kick-off and assist the ground staff with any last-minute things they may need. After that, it's last call for the players. Then, at kick-off, they can breathe a sigh of relief for a few minutes, sit back and watch the game, enjoy the fruits of their labour. At half-time, check everyone's okay and everything's as it should be, and then wait for full-time. Once the final whistle's gone, it's time to pack everything down, get the stuff that needs to be washed in the laundry, pack up the van, back to the training ground, and ready to do it again next week. Of course, each club differs, and different staff members will have different responsibilities, but we pay tribute to all of those who do it, whether it's the glitz and glamour of the Premier League or a cold Tuesday night in Stoke.
Good morning, welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast. Good to have your company this Saturday morning. I'm Katie Shanahan, in for the wonderful Shabana Hearn as she enjoys a Christmas break. And with me is the former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning, Kate.
Merry Christmas, but still keeping it festive for as long as possible. Right, here's what's coming up on the show today. 3 points and a clean sheet for Manchester United on Boxing Day. They beat Newcastle live on talkSPORT.
Dorgu carries it. Oh, brilliantly! On the volley. What a goal!
A first Manchester United goal for Patrick Dorgu. What a hit that was as well. We'll get stuck into the game very, very shortly. The festivities in the EFL did not disappoint. Plenty of entertainment on Boxing Day, including 8 goals at the racecourse grounds.
It is going to be Windass against Cooper from 12 yards. No mistake made by Josh Windass, and no mistakes made by Wrexham. It's one of the comebacks of the championship season.
Yeah, what a game that was. An 8-goal thriller. Wrexham, the Hollywood entertainers, up against Sheffield United. More to come on that match too. And we'll look ahead to all 7 of today's Premier League fixtures, including Unai Emery's Aston Villa up against Chelsea. Can they establish themselves as title contenders with victory today?
We are realistic, but as well ambitious, and we are not going to refuse nothing about how we are in the table.
So loads coming up on the show today, including the cricket as well, as there's just been another wicket, so we'll be getting to that very, very shortly. Joe Root, the latest wicket to fall for England. England are currently 158 for 5. So also you can get involved in the show as well. You can text me and Cass on 81089, or you can give us a call 03717 2233 03717223344. This is Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT, and it's a very good morning to Tony Cascarino. How are you? Did you have a good Christmas?
Great Christmas. Yeah, lovely. Boxing Day yesterday. A lot shorter because for the first time in 3 days I had an early bath because Manchester United were playing, obviously, Newcastle.
Yes.
But Christmas Day, great fun.
Did you have your bottle of champagne?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't, because it got a bit messed up because I've got my 2 boys over from France and they turned up and they had a bit of a lie-in and didn't get to Christmas Day to mine. I had to go and get them. And I mean, they're only 24 and 19. So
Enjoy a lie-in then.
Yeah, and because my mum's moved in with my sister. Her house is empty at the moment, and I've put them up there. So I'm going to my mum's to pick my boys up, and of course the shutters are down and everything, and it's 11:30, but they're boys. So anyway, so yeah, good. What about you?
Yeah. So we hosted for the first time this year.
Yeah, you said that last time.
Yeah, which was really, really good fun.
How many?
So we had about 10.
Oh, that's
10 and my 18-month-old niece, who was hilarious, trying to give out all the presents and getting it all wrong, not knowing who mum or dad or anyone was. So everyone got all the wrong presents. But yeah, we had a lovely meal, big turkey.
Yeah.
I still had turkey sandwiches yesterday for the game, and then last night as well. I've still got a massive turkey, so plenty of food still to be had, and lots of chocolate and loads of bits.
Yeah. The regime, as they say,
exactly.
Starts in.
And then I went to Millwall yesterday.
Yes,
as well.
Against Ipswich.
Yes, I mean it was a goalless draw, and it wasn't exactly a thriller, but always good to go down to the Den, and lots of Boxing Day football that we'll get into.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Amazing. Right, let's get into the show, shall we? Just the one game in the Premier League on Boxing Day, Manchester United beating Newcastle. Here's how it sounded for you last night.
And talkSPORT brings you exclusively to Old Trafford as the historic kings of Boxing Day look to unwrap a win without their creative talisman, Bruno Fernandes.
We can play a different way to take more quality from these players.
I just think that Manchester United have just caused a few issues for Newcastle by playing Dorgu in this odd position high up on the right-hand side, which maybe Eddie Howe wasn't expecting. For Dorgu, who parries it, brilliantly, on the volley, and Patrick Dorgu has hit a rasper, a Christmas cracker out of the sky. Manchester United have been clawing their way towards a victory here. They've been hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, and they have done it.
Oh, it has to be Dorgu, doesn't it? His night, wonderful goal he scored, a great goal that he'll probably not score a better one in all his career at Man United.
I'll tell you what, Patrick Dorgu wrote to Santa and said, I could really do with an uplift in fortunes after Christmas Day, if that's okay. And Santa has definitely delivered.
He certainly has. Patrick Dorgu, what a hit that was. His first half volley sent Manchester United 5th in the Premier League table with a 1-0 win over Newcastle at Old Trafford. After missing key players, including their club captain Bruno Fernandes through injury, Ruben Amorim actually adapted his change in system to the usual 3-4-3 to a 4-2-3-1, which brought much needed success and a very valuable 3 points. We can hear from the United boss now, Ruben Amorim. He spoke to talkSPORT and said he was delighted with his side's performance.
I'm really proud. We had some luck in the second half, luck that we missed in some games this season. I think we did well in the first half, no more than that, but we divided the game. We had some control in some moments of the game. The second half was us suffering together, trying transitions. And sometimes I say that we need to defend with everything, the box, and today we did that, and was a very good 3 points.
Cass, ahead of the game, Amorim did hint that he might have to change his beloved 3-4-3 formation due to injuries. Do you think United looked more settled with about 4?
Absolutely. First half, they look comfortable. And look, they've got injuries in there. And a young lad, Aidan Heaven, played at the centre-half position alongside Martinez, a bit of experience. Luke Shaw at left back, Dalot at right back. And I think it really suited them. Look, if you've got... Coaching and management is you have to adapt to, any scenario that whether it's been injuries, whether it's players out of form, whether it's alternation because of the opposition and what they offer, then you have to do it. It's just a given. And last night, look, we'll talk about the second half in a moment, but the first half, that's a solid Manchester United team because the two midfielders are both slow. Ugarte and Casemiro haven't got legs, the pair of them, and they managed to protect them as well with the back four.
Yeah.
So, Mason Mount playing sortly in pockets and likewise Cunha. They were really well structured yesterday, and that's the reason why they won the game. They got fortunate in the end because second half was literally one-way traffic, wasn't it?
Yeah. And Lewis Hall and Anthony Gordon both going close.
Yeah.
But it's in terms of Patrick Dorgu, I mean, what a hit that was.
Oh, what?
Catch it on the volley. That was really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are questioning the keeper. Could Ramsdale have got there because he got on there?
I think that's harsh. No.
I mean, it was a great strike.
Yeah, exactly. Don't take away from the strike.
Yeah, the strike was obviously... Dorgu's strike was hit first time. That is an element of surprise because he doesn't take a touch and then look to hit it where a goalkeeper can reset himself. He's gone, I'm going to hit this on... I mean, it's a great effort because it's literally coming out of the air, isn't it? And as it comes out of the air, he just comes onto it.
How tough is that to do? That's
a really hard skill because you got to time it perfectly. And if you don't, it's going to go up in row Z or maybe miss the goal by a long way. So fair play to him. For a player that's sort of been in and out. Manchester United at times you feel like has not really settled. Big moment for him last night, Dorgu.
Yeah. Could this game be a good indicator of what's to come, especially if Ruben Amorim sticks with the back four?
Well, if you're looking for the glass half empty or half full, if you want to go first half and it was full, the second half would be big concerns because you're not going to win football matches regularly with having to literally hang on. Because they offered nothing. They couldn't get anything going in the second half. And look, Newcastle got more aggressive in the way they were playing. Anthony Gordon, he showed glimpses of him at his best. I thought Jacob Murphy, who's largely been brilliant over the last 2 seasons for Newcastle, thought his crossing was poor last night. Just not quite on a lot of crosses that Man United defenders just headed clear. So there was good things from Newcastle, but United are going to have to be way better than they were in the second half. And look, they have a number of injuries as well, and players away. And Mbeumo being away is another loss. So, I mean, you've won the game, so there'll be a lot more optimism around Old Trafford. But boy, did they suffer.
Yeah. Let's hear from Newcastle manager Eddie Howe now. He was asked if Manchester United's change was something they accounted for.
It's not something we prepared for, but I don't think it had a huge bearing on the game. In the first half, our problems weren't tactical or off the ball for me. They were on the ball for us, where we were just loose under, as I said, limited pressure. We ended up giving them the ball back and then made it a transitional game for us. Thought we were a lot better, especially in midfield in the second half. We were a lot tighter with our build-up play. Played some lovely football up until their box. The end actions weren't great. I thought we were crossing the ball from too deep. Don't think we worked the ball close enough around their goal. When we did, I thought we looked a really good team. And it's difficult to pin a team in like that, like we did in the second half. So there are positives to take, but it's very tough to see them at this moment.
Yeah, Eddie Howe, they're saying that they've only got themselves to blame. I mean, if you're Eddie Howe, Cass, how do you go about finding consistency?
Well, he's got a good team there. You can see that. There's a good structure of the team. They've got pace, the ability to get goals. They're a funny side, Newcastle, this year, because they've been so inconsistent and being in great positions. Look, it's quite obvious. If you watch the game and you come away thinking, how did Newcastle not score? Well, the final ball was terrible. It's way too often. So whether it's a little bit behind someone and they have to just take a touch or, and some of the choices. And Eddie is right. They played some really good football. And literally in the final ball was the one that was letting them down all evening, especially in the second half. So I like Newcastle. I like a lot of their team. I think they've got good fullbacks. And again, they've suffered injuries as well, which every team has had this time of year. So I would still be very optimistic about their season. Honestly, Kate, I think there's still a good season in there for Newcastle.
Okay, I like the optimism.
No, I think they're a decent side. Eddie's had some painful moments, hasn't he, in the last few weeks, where the Chelsea game where they're 2-0 up, comfortable, and end up drawing 2-2. They're dropping points that he will feel unnecessary.
Yeah. Right, it's time to cross over to the Ashes, as it's day 2 of 5 of the 4th Ashes Test out in Melbourne, and we can say a very good morning to the wonderful John Norman, who is watching for us. And we just recently said that Joe Root was the latest wicket to fall. John, what can you tell us? England closing down on the win here.
Yeah, looks like that. Good morning to you guys, and Merry Christmas to everyone. And it is a Merry Christmas for the thousands of English that have made it out to Melbourne to cheer on England to what will become their first win in an Ashes Test match in Australia since January 2011. They still require 10 runs. Harry Brook and Ben Stokes at the crease. It's Mitchell Starc bowling, and he's essentially it's just been a crazy day of cricket following what was an even more crazy day of cricket on day 1. I mean, there's a lot of chat on social media right now about whether this really is Test cricket at its best, and I'd have to concur with that. I don't think it is, but who cares? England have had a horror Ashes series so far, and they need this. They need this badly. So 10 runs away from the win with Stokes and Brook at the crease. England 165 for 5.
Thank you so much, John. Nice to get a bit of good news regarding the cricket. Yeah, Ben Stokes on 2 and Harry Brook on 13, going well at the crease at the moment. Just needing 10 more to win. Right, absolutely. Oh, hang on a minute. I think we're going to have to go back to John Norman. We were trying to be so optimistic, John. But the captain
John, what are you
has
doing?
now gone.
I went early.
We both did.
I went really early.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, really? England. Do you know what? I sent a message to Cameron Ponsonby, who's out there, and he's been doing some stuff for us. He's excellent. And I messaged him about 10, 15 minutes ago, and I said, who is your player of the match? Right? Who is your player of the match? Nobody has scored any runs. The pitch essentially is given about 20 of the wickets, and we can't work out who the player of the match is going to be. No. I then replied, it'll be Mitchell Starc when he takes 5 wickets in an over and wins the game. Well, he's just taken one of them, because Stokes has been caught behind a huge swing of the bat, thin outside edge. Carey does the rest. Stokes walks off with a shake of the head. And, yeah, he goes for 2. So, look, England still need 10 runs. They got 4 wickets in hand. They got Harry Brook still at the crease and Jamie Smith striding out there. Surely not. Surely not. Oh, we'll see, eh?
We'll see. We'll try and stay optimistic anyway before things change. That was John Norman there, just telling us about the Ashes. Right, loads still to come on the show today, including 7 games in the Premier League, also including our lunchtime exclusive commentary of Nottingham Forest against Manchester City. Kick-off for that one is at 12:30. We'll continue to look ahead to the Premier League next. This is Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. A very good morning. Welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast. Katie Shanahan here, alongside the former Aston Villa striker Tony Cascarino. We're just keeping an eye across the cricket. England are currently 174 for 6, closing down on that target of 175 as they try and clinch this 4th test in the Ashes. Ben Stokes, the latest one to go, though. He didn't build up a big running total, did he? It was a total of 2, with Harry Brook now and Jamie Smith in at the crease. So let's focus on the 7 games in the Premier League today, starting with Burnley against Everton, but lots of games coming up. You've got Nottingham Forest against Man City. That's the 12:30 kickoff live on talkSPORT. Arsenal against Brighton. Brentford up against Bournemouth. Chelsea Villa, 5:30 kickoff for that one. Huge game, especially regarding the title race. Liverpool against Wolves. West Ham against Fulham. But Burnley against Everton is where we will start. 2 teams with different ambitions as the hosts aim to steer clear of relegation, while the Toffees seek to push for European qualification. And earlier this week, I sat down with Everton midfielder James Garner. He spoke about the challenge that Burnley pose and if the team are moving in the right direction under David Moyes.
As soon as he come back into the club, I think the whole team and the fans just bought into everything that he wanted to do. He's brought in some good signings that have helped, and you know they've come in and they've gone straight into the team, and you know we've got a good philosophy on how we're playing and how he wants us to attack games and how he wants us to be, and I think it's been working this season.
OK, that was James Garner speaking there. I mean, the fan base has been through difficult moments and poor seasons recently, but this season there's plenty to sing about, isn't there? Especially under David Moyes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, stability is a big thing for David Moyes as a manager. You always look at his clubs; he's always instills that consistency of performance, and they've struggled slightly of late. But then Ndiaye's been injured. I think the 2 centre forwards, obviously Barry and Beto, it's really difficult because neither of them look like scoring. Both of them have only got 1 Premier League goal each this season so far, and you've got to want more from that area in the pitch. But their back four is pretty, Keane, Tarkowski, they're pretty solid enough week in, week out. So, I mean, Everton are going to find it hard to make Europe, but I don't see them at all having a relegation battle this year.
No, and that's the main thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Just make sure you stay up. David Moyes managing to turn things around. What do you think has been the biggest change that he's made?
Well, just his setup of his team and not giving games away. And Everton are a side that, you never see a David Moyes team not being committed and showing everything in a game. And Kieran Dewsbury-Hall's a loss to them. He's technical. So is Ndiaye. He's exactly the same, a technical player. And they missed them. And they've had McNeil out injured as well, another player. So they've missed that side because that was the element of change he made at the start of the season. He didn't want a team fighting relegation, so he needed technical players in there as well with all the other strengths of the team. But there's still a lot to be worked. I really feel that next summer will be a big one for Everton as a club.
Right, let's head over to Melbourne, shall we? As it's finally over in the 4th Ashes Test. John Norman, finally, some good news for England.
Yeah, absolutely. England have beaten Australia at the MCG. The first time they've won a Test match in Australia since January 2011. And it was Harry Brook just glancing a delivery from Richardson fine down to the boundary. And Ben Stokes, who was last man out, kept his pads on. And the England players just going over to the thousands of English cricket fans who have turned up in Australia and supported the team. They've been disappointed, they've been angry, but finally they have reason to celebrate. England have won. A low-quality encounter, truth be told, where really the pitch won out overall. It was a bowler's paradise on days 1 and 2, but England have won the shootout. They've beaten Australia by 4 wickets and trail the Ashes with 1 to play, 3-1 in arrears, but at least they've got that win finally, and Ben Stokes and Joe Root eventually know what it feels like to win in Australia.
We're just looking at a very happy Joe Root at the moment with the final test taking place in Sydney. Thank you so much, John. Good to have some positive news regarding the cricket. Every time I've gone to poor John, it's always been so negative. So especially on the what was it? Yeah, the first day of the Ashes test, it was all going wrong. But I need some good news for cricket.
I spoke to John before he went, obviously to Australia, and he was like quite optimistic about England's chances because most people felt this Australian team was pretty average, and that's proven to be not the case. They were obviously a lot better, but getting something on the board, because there's a lot. Look, when you lose in any sport, you lose. There's criticism, then stories come out. That's inevitable. So you've got to react to it. And they went out.
Well, they've reacted to it all right.
Well,
so
they apparently went out for a drink. And there they go. They won the game. And you might say, well, the Aussies weren't so, at their game, on their game.
Yeah.
But fair play.
Right, still loads to come. It's a busy day on talkSPORT. At 9 o'clock, it's the Game Day warm-up with Max Rushton and Charlie Baker. Game Day exclusive comes at 11 a.m. Live and exclusive commentary of Nottingham Forest against Man City with kick-off for that one at 12:30 here on talkSPORT. At 2:30, it's Game Day live with Adrian Durham taking you around the grounds in the Premier League this afternoon. Then Game Day phone-in at 5:30 with Jamie O'Hara and Jermaine Pennant taking all of your calls. Then the Rory Jennings Show starts from 7:30 and rounding up the evening at 9 o'clock. It's the Fight Night with Adam Catterall deep diving into the world of boxing. The best way to keep across the sport today is just keep talkSPORT bubbling away in the background. Right, up next, we're going to continue to be looking ahead to all of the Premier League games this afternoon. morning. This is Weekend Breakfast live on YouTube and your smart TV. You're listening to Katie Shanahan alongside me, the former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning. Mo Salah's penalty gave Egypt a 1-0 victory over South Africa as the 7-time champions booked a place in the knockout stages of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. British number one Jack Draper, as you just heard there, will not play in next month's Australian Open. That's because of an ongoing arm injury. And Bournemouth will make the trip to the G-Tech to take on Brentford. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League this afternoon. And ahead of this one, I sat down with the winger Justin Kluivert, and he spoke about his teammate Antoine Semenyo ahead of a potential departure coming in the January transfer window.
He scored a lot of goals. He was dangerous, and he just does the same this year. So yeah, he gives you goals. He gives you attacking danger. So yes, that's one thing he does great, and good for him that a lot of teams need that. So he's a good asset.
Yeah, it was actually a really nice interview with Justin Kluivert, waxing lyrical about Antoine Semenyo, about what he's like on and off the pitch. But I suppose if he does go, which is inevitable, where would that leave Bournemouth?
In a bit of a pickle, because if you look at all the forwards, I mean, they sold quite a number of defenders. Evan Nielsen's a good player, but been injured quite a lot. Semenyo is their main threat, and his consistency has been brilliant. He's played like he deserves a move to one of the big six, because he's that good. I was so impressed when I saw him at Crystal Palace on his physical ability, his strength, and his defending also. From corners, set pieces, throw-ins, he was getting his head to. He's got a great ability with a leap to get up, and, you know, that's without him technically being great. So I threw a goal. I mean, Kluivert, you know, Justin Kluivert's come in, and I like him when I've watched him play at his best. He's a real live wire, but I think everyone knows at Bournemouth, Semenyo is going to be a massive loss to them. And hard to replace. Look, you can have great recruitment policy, but you're replacing a really, really top player for Bournemouth.
Yeah, and a player that's, you know, playing with such confidence as well, especially this season.
Yeah, of late, he hasn't scored as much as he did in the earlier part of the season, but you still feel he's a threat because he can carry the ball, he's quick enough, he's strong upper body. Whoever he goes to, whether it's Man City or whoever gets him, is going to get a really top good player. And he's durable, which I always love in players. Players that are out on the pitch a lot, who don't miss through minor injuries, muscle injuries, calves, all the niggles that you get as a player. He's very, very durable as well.
As for Bournemouth, though, no wins in their last 8 games, 15th now in the Premier League. Do you think they've got much to be concerned about?
I'd like to say no, because they are really good when they're on form. I mean, Katie, I've come away and I've waxed lyrical. I said that this Bournemouth team is such an handful because of the way they play, but they just haven't got a squad that's going to be capable of carrying them for a season. So they're going to have to do business, and they sold and made a lot of money last summer on players' ins and outs. You know, people like Kirkhead's moving to Liverpool and others. So I think they're going to have to get the recruitment right in January. Otherwise, they might just get a little bit closer to the bottom 3. But if you said to me, after watching them numerous times this season, Bournemouth could be in a relegation fight, I'd say absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
So I expect them to recover with who they bring in. But Semenyo's a loss, without a doubt.
Yeah, 65 million, I think, is the
buyout, yeah.
Yeah, so they should be able to, you know, use that money quite well. Another game happening today is a big London derby at the London Stadium as West Ham host Fulham. The Hammers are in real trouble at the moment, sitting in the relegation zone and 10 points adrift of Fulham, who are really desperate for a lift, West Ham. As for Fulham, they arrive with plenty of momentum after that 1-0 win over Nottingham Forest, while West Ham's form has, I suppose, gone the other way, winless in 6 league games and under serious pressure to turn things around. And amid a growing disconnect between the supporters and the board, which has been going on for a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There is a planned protest by Hammers fans today ahead of the game. The No More BS campaign will see fans hold up red cards after 15 minutes aimed at the director's box to mark 15 years of Sullivan and Brady's ownership. We can hear now from the West Ham boss, Nuno Espirito Santo, who said his squad remained fully focused despite the planned protests.
Yeah, we try to isolate. Since we arrived, this is an ongoing issue, isn't it? And I always believe that us as a team, we have to try and shield ourselves and just try to give something to our fans, because they're all gonna give us back. I really believe, and the proof is that every time that we competed well, our fans were there.
Is this a must-win for West Ham if they're going to avoid a relegation scrap? I suppose when you're in this kind of situation, you just need points on the board, don't you?
Yeah, it's look. There's also the disconnect, as you mentioned, Katie, off the field and demonstrations, and Nuno's just hoping that the fans turn up and support the team, and I'm sure they will by 3:00. But he's very conscious of, where they are, 5 points adrift of Nottingham Forest. Goal differences will play a part because they're quite a long way off of Forest as well. So, yeah, he knows what's at stake today. He needs a big performance from West Ham team because all the off-field activities, the players can't do anything about.
Yeah, they can't control that.
No, all they can do is cross the white line, put in a performance and try and lift the crowd. And by the end of the day, yes, they got the issues with the board, but they've got some sort of result out of the game. So, of course, it's a big one for them.
Because they haven't won in the last 6 league games, West Ham.
No.
So do you think the players are looking like their confidence is shot? And, can a derby win like this in London at the home stadium actually lift them?
Well, it's a game that they'd look at to try and win. And, Fulham is a derby, but it's not. It's not a West Ham versus Chelsea or West Ham versus
It's another
Arsenal,
London
Tottenham.
derby, isn't it?
It's a London derby, but I would really look at this game as one to pick out because Fulham are a side that when they're on and they're not particularly impressive as they can be. I've seen them about 3 times. I've come away thinking, oh, Fulham, not quite sure. Josh King is a really fine young player, in and out. Harry Wilson's having a really good season. Iwobi, they've got a lot of players that have been there. Iwobi being away, and other players being away.
And Calvin Bassey's away as well.
Yeah, exactly. They got a number of players away. This is a game you've got to get a result in. So with players being injured, and obviously Rowe. What's his name? Hudson.
Emil Smith.
Emil Smith Rowe.
Former Arsenal, yeah.
He's got an opportunity as well because he's not played enough. Emil Smith Rowe has got that opportunity to shine and show Marco Silva what he's about. Because when he signed, I thought it was a good signing for him.
Yeah, when he's fit and firing.
Oh, he's brilliant. A great finisher.
Yeah.
And if he plays that 10 role, because of Josh King, he's only a young lad. Josh King's going to be a really fine player. You can tell that. But he's growing. He's only 18, 19-year-old. But Smith Rowe has got an opportunity. He's way ahead of the curve. And with him being a good finisher, if he gets a bit of confidence going, he can make Fulham tick. Harry Wilson's carried them with the goals this year.
Yeah. He's also a joy to watch. The ball just sticks to his foot like glue. I always love watching him.
So there are good things. Obviously, they won their last game 1-0 and Jimenez gets a penalty. I think it's a game you've got to look at to win. This is a period now over this Christmas where West Ham can save their season, because if they have this next 4 games where there's some winnable games, if it doesn't go well for them, they're going to be 8, 9, 10 points adrift.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they keep losing, Nuno's job is going to be, under pressure. Do you think it's under pressure a lot at the moment? Haven't won in the last 6 league games, and it's just they need to pick up some points, don't they?
Look,
to get out of the drop zone.
Katie, there's been loads of West Ham fans who have come on the radio and all different shows who are frustrated and anger at the board and the direction of the club and the signings they've made. And whatever happens, whether they win today or win the next 3 or 4 games, that's not going away. There's a real issue, a real divide at the football club from the top to the fans who are going and paying their money. West Ham could be playing in front of 35,000, 40,000 next year in the Championship. And they can sell out easily. But all the fans that might go, do you know what? I'm not renewing.
Wow.
Because that is a danger for West Ham.
Yeah.
With that stadium. And when the board are the direction of anger, and this isn't nothing new. This has been going on a long time.
Yeah. And
they're pretty feisty. They're a fan base that demand a lot from the club and the owners. So it's a tough one. This could turn even more sour very, very quickly if they have a bad Christmas into the new year. I can only see more trouble ahead for West Ham.
Yeah.
As a club.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens. West Ham against Fulham, a 3:00 kickoff for you this afternoon. Right, a reminder that talkSPORT are giving you the chance to win £26,000 in 2026. All you need to do is head over to talksport.com/win to find out how to enter. We'll, of course, provide more details later on in the show. And we'll be getting stuck into the morning's back pages as well. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, alongside Tony Cascarino, here on talkSPORT. Good morning. Very good morning. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Katie Shanahan alongside Tony Cascarino with the back pages on the way next. Here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this Saturday morning. Kiefer Moore scored twice as Wrexham came from behind to beat his former club Sheffield United in a cracking 8-goal championship thriller. Well worth the watch to go back on the highlights if you haven't already. Nottingham Forest are to rename a stand at the City Ground to honour their great hero, John Robertson, who sadly died at the age of 72 yesterday. And top of of the table, Arsenal face Brighton at the Emirates. Really looking forward to this one. Here's our talkSPORT reporter with everything you need to know.
I'm Alex Crook, making my way to the Emirates Stadium where Arsenal host Brighton this afternoon. The Gunners top of the Premier League at Christmas for the third time in 4 seasons. Unlike the previous 2 occasions, can Mikel Arteta's side go on and win the title? Brighton have already lost here in the League Cup, so Fabian Heartwarming will be hoping to go one better as well. Troy Deeney alongside me as Arsenal take on Brighton.
OK, let's focus on Brighton first of all, because like Crookie just said there, Arsenal top of the tree when it comes to the Premier League and the Champions League this season. William Saliba also saying that Arsenal can win the quadruple. But let's focus on Brighton, shall we? Because no wins in their last 4. What is going wrong for the Seagulls at the moment?
They got a number of injuries. I mean, the last couple of games, because they haven't scored. You know, Liverpool, Sunderland haven't scored. Welbeck came on late. He's had a bit of a back issue. Didn't play against Sunderland. And obviously he's been inspirational. Incident, and you could add to that. The player that interests me, or I find, you can tell he's a good player, is Ruta, that they signed from Leeds.
Yeah.
He's got 1 Premier League goal this season. And he got 5.
Think how good he was for Leeds as well.
Yeah, and he got 5 last year in the whole of the season. You know, and there's a much better player there. So he's got to step up. And then they've had injuries. And, I mean, Baliba's gone to the African nations. They've had injuries, whether it's Dunk, he's been in and out. So they've had a number of issues around the team that just, they've been hot and cold. They're a typical hot and cold team. Because when you see Brighton on a good day, they're one hell of a team. Physically, they test you. So they've got personnel injuries that are costing them dearly. You know, and they find it hard to get goals at the moment. Minter's another one. So dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, really good wingers that direct and gets at players. Yeah. But he's not been as good as what I think he should be as a player that's got so much about him.
And it's going to be really tough at the Emirates against Arsenal.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be a really tough test. So they're going to need all their players to really step up. OK, let's take a look at the back pages now. Producer Oscar has joined us in the studio for a bit more. I've got to look everywhere. You're all around me this morning. OK, so here we go. A bit of this for the back pages. What is going on? They were like, celebrate good times is coming on. So why are we playing this?
Well, good morning, guys. We're playing it this week because basically myself, yourself, and our lovely producer Gabriel, we are having a bit of a debate about celebrations and the chocolate that you get in the celebrations tin. Now, Katie went for a Mars bar, which I think is a bit controversial. Gabriel went for a Twix, and I went for a Snickers. So, Cass, the question that we want to know this morning
Bounty.
Oh,
surely
no, you're not a bouncy man.
I love coconut.
You're joking.
Yeah.
Bouncy man, Cass.
And I tell you what, even worse, is the red bounty's gone. It's disappeared from the shelves.
The red bounty?
The red bounty. It's the plain. You know, you've got the milk chocolate and you've got the plain dark chocolate, which is the bounty red bounty. I love the red bounty. I can't find it anywhere.
No.
Well, actually, I did a little bit of research, and they did a little poll on this.
I've never had the red bounty. I've barely seen the red bounty. Maybe that says it all.
I'll be honest, I was not expecting you to say bounty. But there was a study done last year, and actually, Katie, this is going to shock you. Mars ranked last.
No!
Mars ranked last. Maltesers ranked first. Galaxy, just the normal one, was second, and Galaxy Caramel was third place.
Yeah.
So that was a bit. I thought Mars last place was a bit of a shock. I would have thought the general British consensus would be bounty.
Where's the Snicker?
The Snickers.
Snickers is still in there.
Snickers still. I think.
Well, no, where are they placed?
They placed fifth.
Oh, fifth.
They placed fifth. Yeah.
The topic's gone.
See, I'm old enough to remember the marathon because they used to be called the marathon.
The marathon.
Snickers.
Yeah.
Marathon.
I do like a Mars bar. When I said Mars bar in the production meeting the other day, they put their head in their hands, which I thought was really...
Yeah, I'm not so.
Do you not have a Mars bar? Sometimes if I've done a long run or a big event...
Work, rest or play.
Yeah. Delve straight for the Mars bar. Okay, in all my top 3 celebrations, here we go. So I go Mars bar, Galaxy Caramel, and this is going to throw you all. Milky Way.
Yeah.
Ooh. Fair enough. Milky Way's good. Milky Way's very solid. Anyway, right, enough celebrations chat. But actually moving on, still continuing with our theme of celebrations, we're going to now focus on two superstar players who adopt the same ice-cold celebration, so to speak, ahead of Chelsea against Aston Villa, 5:30 kickoff today at Stamford Bridge. We're going to be focusing on Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer. Now, there's been a story in the papers that we've seen this morning talking about the competition for places in the England team. Now, obviously, we know that Palmer and Rogers, off the pitch, are very, very good friends, hence why they adopt the same celebration. We also know they played in the youth system together at Manchester City. Obviously, Morgan Rogers has had an amazing season. Aston Villa been one of their key stars. Obviously, Cole Palmer's season's been a little bit blighted by injury. So, Cass, I think one of the questions I wanted to ask you really is that if you're Thomas Tuchel and you're looking purely at form and availability, do you think that Morgan Rogers has now put himself in the conversation ahead of Palmer heading into the World Cup?
Do you know what I'd be thinking? I love it that they're all doing well and they're all having a competition and they're all going to have to fight for that shirt to get in the team because you're going to lift standards. So anybody who comes in, whether it's Bellingham, who had it, a year ago, if you go back a year, this time last year, Bellingham was absolutely number one in that spot. Now we're a year further on and you've had Foden the previous year before that. You love that there's so much competition that you're going to go, do you know what? Whoever's playing their absolute best football at the moment will have the shirt. And I think it's Morgan Rogers now. But that doesn't mean it's Morgan Rogers in March, April, or maybe next summer. He's in the box seat at the moment. But it could be Cole Palmer. So, because Cole Palmer will know he's got to lift. He's got to lift his performances and be the player he was the year before when he was literally shining for Chelsea. So, what a luxury to have, eh?
Yeah.
How many nations have got Foden, Bellingham, Rogers, Palmer? Just to name a few. Morgan Gibbs-White has disappeared.
Yeah.
And think how good he was last year.
Yeah. And he actually said recently, I'm focusing on my club football because he probably realises the situation already. And he's like, it's just too difficult to get in this England team, especially in that number 10 role.
Exactly. So I think Tuchel will look at it and go, I'm fine.
Rubbing his hands together.
Let him get on with it. Let him come and train. Let him shine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, also as well, just looking at a few statistics, and obviously we're kind of at the halfway stage of the season roughly, but Rogers, 10 goal contributions in 17 Premier League games. Obviously, Cole Palmer, only the 2 in 7 games. But obviously, as I said, his season has been plagued by injuries. But I think it's the case of, at what point does Rogers' form kind of outweigh Cole Palmer's reputation? Because we all know what Cole Palmer can do. He is a wonderful player. Obviously, scored in the final of the Euros final against Spain, was one of our superstar players. I actually saw an interesting stat as well that Rogers, when he plays for England, we've got a 90% win ratio. Cole Palmer, 50%, which is quite a shocking stat. One that I was quite surprised by. Obviously, it's quite hard to read into statistics.
Don't even know mine with Ireland.
Yeah. Sure, we can find out. We'll read it out if it's good. If we won't,
what's the one good thing for Cole Palmer? Okay, he's not played as much football so far this season as Morgan Rogers. By the time March, April comes, Morgan Rogers, if he stays fit and hope he does, he's going to have played a lot more football. Yeah. That might make Cole Palmer a bit fresher in the summer and others.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think the case is, Cass and Katie, if the squad was named, let's say, tomorrow, and everyone was fit, are you taking Rogers, Palmer, or do you think that Tuchel finds a way to take both of them?
I think he'll 100% take 2 of them, and you can add in Bellingham, so we'll have 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's Foden will have the biggest
Foden
fight,
is going to be the problem.
But if Phil Foden plays like he's played for the last 2 months, again, whose first choice in December isn't guaranteed first choice by April, May. It's just, I've seen loads of players on international duty being left out, and that's the Republic of Ireland who don't have the depth of what certainly England have had.
Right, it is time to break. Thank you so much, Oscar.
No
Maybe
problem.
we can get Oscar to leave to celebration music.
Do you know who sang this celebration?
Cool in the Gang.
Oh,
there we go.
So you kids know it all.
There we go. And
Instagram and all this.
Your exit.
Facebook.
Oscar, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
As our celebration conversation continues. Very controversial. I can't believe Mars is at the last spot. So let us know what your favourite celebration chocolate is. Text me 81089, or even if it's that massive, you can give me a call 03717 2233 44. Right, coming up next, we're going to be looking back on a very busy Boxing Day in the EFL. This is Weekend Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, alongside Tony Cascarino, celebrating here on talkSPORT.
what football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pitodry on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast. I'm Katie Shanahan with former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
This morning we are having a good festive Saturday morning. Really, really good to have your company. 3 points and a clean sheet for Manchester United on Boxing Day. They beat Newcastle live on talkSPORT.
Got to Dorgu, who parries it. Oh, brilliantly. On the volley.
What a goal.
Yes, a first club goal, and what a hit from Patrick Dorgu. We'll get stuck into the game very shortly. The festivities in the EFL did not disappoint either, with plenty of entertainment on Boxing Day, including 8 goals at the racecourse ground.
It is going to be Windass against Cooper from 12 yards. No mistake made by Josh Windass, and no mistake made by Wrexham. It's one of the comebacks of the championship season.
Yeah, what a game it was. A real Christmas cracker. Josh Windass getting the penalty to make it 5-3 to Wrexham against Sheffield United. Wrexham, the Hollywood entertainers. More to come from that game very shortly. And we'll be looking ahead to all 7 of today's Premier League fixtures, including Unai Emery's Aston Villa. Can they establish themselves as title contenders today with victory against Chelsea?
We are realistic, but as well ambitious, and we are not going to refuse nothing about how we are in the table.
Right, still loads on the agenda this morning. You can get in touch with the show. You can text us 81089, or you can give me a call 03717 223344. This is Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. And we have had a number of texts about what your favourite celebration is in the box, because it's Christmas. The boxes always come out. And Cass, you've got a lovely friend here about the Red Bounty.
Oh, it's the best.
This is Kev, the Everton fan. He goes, Cass, I'm with you with the Red Bounty. It's the best. Unfortunately, they've stopped making them. I can't believe that.
Who made that decision? You know, let's say,
Mr. Bounty.
Have you? I mean, I obviously can't answer for everybody. But the Blue Bounty and the Red Bounty. I'm sure the red must have been more popular, and someone's gone, no, the blue bounty we'll eradicate. We'll lose the red bounties.
I can just imagine you in the shop looking for the Red Bounty, which, by the way, I've just been told was discontinued 3 years ago. So how long have you been searching the shelves for the Red Bounty?
No, I had this debate, probably around that time 3 years ago, because I remember thinking, where have they gone?
Yeah.
And I loved them. There was always, you know, when you fill in the car and you nick a bit of chocolate, it's always the time and it goes to run in the garage. You might have a little bar of chocolate during the day. The Red Bounty was always my go-to. It's like, I'm having a Red Bounty.
Just didn't strike me as a bounty man. Like, there's severe judgment coming
over. It's a bounty on my head.
Well, I'm apparently a Mars bar, which has gone down like a lead balloon. So maybe a Galaxy Caramel is actually my one.
Yeah.
If I'm having a good...
It's quite rich, though.
It is quite rich, but I like sweet things.
Yeah.
So, right, let's look back on what was a brilliant festive day of EFL action. Here's how Boxing Day sounded across the talkSPORT network.
Robertson at the back post trying to bundle it in. He has! It's an equaliser for Birmingham City. Neither side really did enough to win it as it finishes Millwall 0, Ipswich Town 0.
West Brom 1, Bristol City 2. A brilliant Boxing Day bout.
And no guesses for who's scored it. It's Jovan Makama. Norwich 1, Charlton 0.
Mason Clark on the turn and brilliantly firing into the roof of the net. And Coventry are up and running. And it's been headed in by Pollock to give the Hornets the lead. It's Leicester 1, Watford 2.
Phil Wednesday 2, Hull City 2. Wednesday's lead didn't last long.
Oxford 2, Southampton 1. They've been under the cosh, but Stan Mills has come up with the goods. 3 precious points coming the way of the Sky Blues. They maintain their unbeaten record here, and if things stay as they are in the other games, well, they're going to go 8 points clear of second place Middlesbrough.
It's going to be a good afternoon for Coventry. Finished at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 0.
It's one of the comebacks of the championship season. 3-1 down, but 4 goals without reply. It's Wrexham 5, Sheffield United 3. What a game!
Yeah, it certainly was a busy day on talkSPORT, indeed, with 4 live commentaries in the EFL. Birmingham 1, Derby 1, with John Eustace returning to St Andrews. The 12:30 game was the feisty encounter, which both sides actually had a player sent off. The game that I went to yesterday was a goalless draw, Millwall against Ipswich. Both managers saying they just lacked that clinical and quality in the final third, which I have to agree with. Millwall responded to back-to-back championship defeats by taking points off promotion contenders Ipswich, who face Coventry away next. So that'll be a big game. As for Coventry, they stretched their lead to a point to the top to 8 points after their 1-0 win over Swansea. And Wrexham, this was a cracking game, an 8-goal thriller as they beat Sheffield United 5-3 and saving the best till last. Kiefer Moore scoring twice as Wrexham came from behind to beat Kiefer Moore's former club in a cracking Boxing Day championship thriller in the 5:30 kickoff. Time 2. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at that result because Chrissy Wilder, the Sheffield United manager, who had Kiefer Moore last year at Sheffield. His line was, well, if I had my way, he wouldn't be wearing a Wrexham shirt.
Look at him now, flying, scoring against him. Well, time now to say a very good morning and bring in former Arsenal player and, of course, our EFL expert, Adrian Clark. Good morning.
Oh, Clarky.
Morning, Katie. Morning, Cass. How are we?
Yeah, we're good. You a good Christmas, Aid?
Very nice, thank you. Yeah. Kids are still pretty young, so it's still quite magical in this house. I'm pleased to say. I was at Wrexham last night.
Oh, you were?
You lucky thing.
Yeah. Well, tell us, Aid. I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I mean, it's I mean, look. It's 1-0 by Bamford early on, and then it's 3-1 to Sheffield, and it ends up 5-3. Tell us, was this one of the most craziest games you've witnessed?
Definitely, yeah. It was unreal. It was brilliant entertainment. It toed and froed. Obviously, Sheffield United got off to a flyer. Bamford scores a couple of good early goals. Wrexham's defending was so bad early on in the game, but they never gave in. And when you've got Kiefer Moore up front, who can be unplayable, I think, at times when the ball comes into the box, particularly from corners, then you've always got a chance. But it wasn't just about him. There was some great spirit shown around the team. So they came out. So it was 3-1. Was it
3-2 at half time?
3-2 at half time. That's it. Because you forget so much happens. 3-2 at half time. They came out 2 or 3 minutes early, and they were ready. And they absolutely tore into Sheffield United in the second half, and they didn't stop until they'd got 5-3 up. It was relentless stuff. There's some great performances like Thomason at left back, and Broadhead was superb. Moore was great. Ben Sheaf, it was extraordinary stuff. I think I described it as carnage at Christmas, and that kind of was how it was. But well done, Wrexham. I mean, they're only 5 points off the playoffs now. Played some good football, better football than I expected, because we know they can be quite direct. As for Sheffield United, I mean, good going forward, but Chris Wilder will be fuming, I'm sure, with the way his side sort of caved in there. So, and now, I was looking at it just now, they've lost 13 matches.
Yeah.
And that's the second most of any team in the Championship. Only Sheffield Wednesday have lost more than the Blades, which is unacceptable, really, for that group.
Yeah, they started the season obviously really poorly, didn't they? And have sort of got themselves out of trouble. But I would imagine quite a big window for Sheffield United in Jan.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they've got a lot of good players already. I look at their squad, and it probably runs deeper than Coventry, who are top. But for whatever reason, the group's not played to expectations. They had been the form team, by the way, coming into that game. I looked at the form table, the 8-game form table, they were top. So it was a heck of a result for Wrexham. And for the Blades, probably one where you just got to park it and go again.
As for Coventry, they still sit top of the tree. Frank Lampard, I mean, doing absolute wonders there. Spoken to him a lot this season. But they have, the last game I saw against Coventry, they actually lost 3-0 to Ipswich. But they did beat Swansea City 1-0 yesterday to take them 8 points clear. Coventry still just flying and sitting top of the tree like they have for most of this season.
Yeah, chipping away, aren't they? And you can't win the league scoring 3s and 4s every single week, which was kind of what they were doing earlier on in the campaign. They were blowing teams away. I think they've scored 3 or more in 10 games. And, we're at the halfway stage on 23 games. That's extraordinary. But what's happened in the last few weeks is that they haven't. But they've had to find a different way to win and grind it out.
We're just struggling with your line, but I think we're going to stick with you. Keep going, Clarky.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Look, they've found a different way to win in recent weeks, and they're grinding out narrow wins now. So look, they're looking good. 13 points clear of third. That's the points difference that really matters for Coventry City. So they're looking. They're going to have a really quite a poor second half of the season now, not to make top 2.
Yeah, as for Millwall, I went to Millwall against Ipswich, a goalless draw, so it wasn't exactly a Boxing Day Christmas cracker. But Alex Neil and Millwall taking points off Ipswich, who go to Coventry next. Do you see Millwall kind of sticking in around the top 6 and making the playoffs?
Yeah, well, they've got a really young team, haven't they, Millwall? So I think that if they get the playoffs, it'll be tremendous. It is wide open this year, with so many of the big guns struggling, like your Southamptons and Ipswich and Leicester, of course. Birmingham not doing as well as maybe expected. So, they've got a chance. But you could say that about, 7 or 8 teams, couldn't you, really? But Ipswich against Coventry is a big one, because Ipswich beat Coventry easy, didn't they, the other day? can they go to the CBS and sort of upset them again? If they can, that might be the sort of result they need to sort of springboard them into top 2 contention. Because Middlesbrough, as well as they're doing, I think they're there to be a moment from the likes of Ipswich. So that's going to be a really, really big game. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
Clarky, just before we let you go, are you a bounty man?
I like a blue bounty.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, a normal bounty. I mean, going back a bit there, isn't it? The red ones.
Well, they're only 3 years, Clarky.
Discontinue.
Come on, Clarky.
Yeah, I think from the celebrations.
Oh, so you're blue now, are you?
You're blue or red.
I've turned coats. Yeah, it's got to be a Dairy Milk. Dairy Milk's the best one, right? It's a classic. You got to.
But Dairy Milk's not in the celebrations box, is it?
Oh, isn't it?
No, that's the Heroes. No, you got to go in celebrations box.
No, your boxes.
Yeah, I don't. I clearly
you weren't
don't
very
know
good in the boxes, were you?
I was better out wide, Cash. You know that.
Clarky, thank you so much for coming on nice and early this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. Right, you're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Up next, grab your favourite coffee mugs, a cappuccino, and Cascarino is coming up next.
26k for 2026 on talkSPORT.
Good morning. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, alongside the former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. So this very dramatic music means it's competition time. Yes, talkSPORT is already looking ahead to a very exciting year, 2026, which will bring a brilliant chance for you to win a massive £26,000. What better way to kick off 2026 than with some serious cash? Yep, 26 grand. It's our biggest New Year cash giveaway, and it could be yours. It's £26,000 for 2026. Here's how to enter, as it gets very quick. Shall I read it very quickly? For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call. Tricky number, this one. Get your pen and your notepad out. It's 0343 423 9761. That's 0343 423 9761. Lines close at 12 p.m. on the 9th of January 2026. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. UK residents only, 18 plus. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com/win. So for your chance to win, all you need to do is text WIN to 83338. Now, a very good luck. And breathe. The longest read ever. That should be like a test if you can present. Read that whole thing and see if you can survive. But very pleased because I am handing over to Cappuccino with Cascarino.
A cappuccino with Cascarino on talkSPORT. Yummy.
Yes, yummy indeed.
Yes.
Before we get into this, by the way, we've had lots of texts about bounties. Darren here says, Cass needs to make a petition like people did with Caramac. And it brought it back. But the best discontinued bar, because the red bounty, if you're just tuning in, has been discontinued for the last 3 years. And poor Tony Cascarino has been searching the shelves all this time. But he says here, Darren says, the best discontinued bar is the secret bar. Do you remember having that?
No.
But I have just been looking up loads of discontinued bars. There's loads. The Whisper Mint is in here. You know, you've got the Drifter Bar, Breakaway. What happens to that? Cadbury's Dream Bar. So we've got loads that go with the Red Bounty Bar. Maybe we can bring it back, Kat.
Yeah, they're some great.
Right.
Some of them are more biscuity. The Breakaway is more of a biscuit.
There we go.
Anyway.
But it's time for our latest sit-down story with our very own Tony Cascarino. So what have you got for us today?
Well, a heartwarming story that someone I didn't know, but I always think, say like celebs, not celebs, but people who are singers or in sport or actors or whatever. So many people get stereotyped as, well, they're not the nicest people in the world. But a few weeks back, my very good friend, close friend, his mum died. And she was Irish, but she lived most of her life in England. But she was a massive Daniel O'Donnell fan.
Oh, wow.
And Daniel O'Donnell, for anybody who isn't aware of, is an Irish singer that is very Cliff Richard-like in Ireland, where he's got this huge following, mostly women, who follow him everywhere. Okay, all over Ireland and all over the world. He does.
Lucky man.
Yeah, he has a huge fan base. And his mum, my friend's mum, passed away a couple of weeks ago, and she followed Daniel O'Donnell all over Ireland and other places to see him. And when she passed away, my friend's daughter contacted the fan club of Daniel O'Donnell, and they have their emails, and they just use information to find out latest concerts or wherever he's appearing, and sent a message that my friend's mum had passed away, and he'd heard of her because there's a list. A huge list, but she's one of the people on this list. And she contacted his what's the word? You know, the people who look after him, basically. His team.
Representative.
Yeah, representative. Contacted their representative of him and sent a message that his mum had passed away and all that. Anyway, so my friend went just with his children because obviously a lot of the people, her family, were in England living, not so much in Ireland because her family had passed away as well. So she gets buried, they announce that. And at the funeral is my friend and his kids, and Daniel O'Donnell turns up.
No way!
Turns up at the funeral and said, yes, I know your mum. She'd come to many concerts. I wanted to show my face, be here, because also my mum and dad are buried in the same cemetery. So I was coming, but obviously I would have come for your mum anyway. just to visit her, and for being such a great fan.
What a nice man.
And I thought, in a world where we give so many people a stick who don't want to do anything, to think that Daniel O'Donnell, and honestly, in England, a lot of people might not know him, but he's huge in Ireland.
Yeah.
And so he is a real top celebrity. He took his time to go to a funeral.
Oh, that's so nice. I love
give his condolences and stand there and talk to my pal and say that, no, I know your mum.
And also, you expect these people to be so busy.
Yeah.
So the fact that
No, he took his time. He took his time to go there.
So wonderful.
He drove. I think my pal said over an hour to get there, and just wanted to be there on the day. And there was very few people there. So, and I thought, what a heartwarming story.
Yeah, that is so
someone in a privileged position who's prepared to go out of his way because one of his fans has passed away, that he's turned up at their funeral.
Well, Daniel O'Donnell, if you're listening, what an amazing thing to do. And they always say never meet your heroes, but he sounds like quite the hero.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to describe when people are famous from other countries and over here you wouldn't be as aware. But I'm sure there are a lot of people who would know who Daniel O'Donnell was in Ireland. He's very renowned.
That's amazing that he turned up.
Yeah. And I just thought it was a lovely story, and I thought
that is a really nice.
I heard it. My pal told me in midweek because he said he'd gone to his mum's funeral, and he went, "You can't believe this. Daniel O'Donnell turned up." And obviously I know Daniel O'Donnell, and he does because his mum was a super fan, if you like.
And I love that also he said, I remember your mum and she came along to concerts, so maybe she was front and centre. Huge Daniel O'Donnell fan. What a lovely story. Oh, that's so nice. That's put my faith back in mankind.
In celebrities.
In celebrities, maybe. There are some good ones out there.
Yeah, there are. It's a rarity, but hey.
But hey, stories like that are just so heartwarming. So thank you. That was brilliant. Right, this is Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Next up, we're going to be chatting to cricket and former England assistant Paul Farbrace. A quick reminder of the boxing, though, tonight. The mega showdown in Riyadh as Ring 5, Night of the Samurai, brings you Japan versus the world, featuring the #1 pound-for-pound king, Naoya Inoue. Now, you can watch live today, only on DAZN. The pay-per-view is included in DAZN Ultimate at no extra cost.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
A very good morning. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast. I'm Katie Shanahan alongside Tony Cascarino. Some of the headlines you're waking up to this Saturday morning. Ephraim Mason-Clark's goal secured all 3 points for top of the table Coventry. They beat Swansea 1-0 at the CBS Arena to take them 8 points clear in the Championship. That was live for you on talkSPORT 2. Kiefer Moore scored twice as Wrexham came from behind to beat his former club Sheffield United in a cracking 8-goal Championship thriller. And as for today, we've got 7 Premier League games for you. Arsenal are back at the Emirates Stadium this weekend to face Brighton. The Gunners come into this one off the back of a narrow win over Everton and that dramatic League Cup shootout victory over Crystal Palace. Meanwhile, Brighton head into this clash without a league win in their last 4 games, so it's going to be a tough test for them. As for Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta, he wants to see his side be more clinical this afternoon. William Saliba, Cass, said that Arsenal can win the quadruple. Do you agree?
No, I think it'll be beyond them. They have suffered an enormous amount of injuries. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal won a double, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Premier League and Champions League.
I don't know why you would want to talk about quadruples and things like that. Just
maybe he was asked it, to be fair.
Yeah, but okay. And it's a tricky question because you don't want to say, no, we can't.
You've got to be diplomatic and say yes, even though deep down you may think no.
Yeah, no, I think Arsenal, if they can get... obviously, a Premier League is massive to Arsenal because they haven't won it for so long. That club needs to win one because of the investment. And, you know, obviously Arteta now has been at the club quite a number of seasons and he's progressed Arsenal. There's no doubt that Arsenal are a far better placed club now than they were when he first walked in the door. You know, so... And I do know a little bit of inside stuff on this because I know Liam Brady very well. I worked at the Arsenal, working in the academy. And he said many moons ago, when they went to the Emirates, Arsenal would suffer slightly because they wouldn't have the same finance building a new stadium. So Arsenal, and Wenger never really let the cat out of the bag, you know, about Arsenal, as in we're not going to be as competitive, which they weren't for a number of seasons. So Wenger suffered as well.
Yeah.
I think they're now built to be a winning club.
Do you think there needs to be more rotation, especially if they are fighting on all fronts?
He's going to have to, absolutely.
And they've got such talent as
well.
They've got such a good squad, so use it more, surely.
Yeah. Well, look, they got through in the cup in midweek, didn't they? They got through in a tight cup game against Palace. They're riding high in the Champions League. They're top of the Premier League. And yes, City are chasing them down, but someone's going to chase you down. There's always someone hanging on their heels. There's not many seasons where teams actually run away with it. Yeah. It does happen, but it's rare. I don't think that's going to be the case this season. It'll be someone hanging on to Arsenal or Arsenal are tracking City. You know, they're the two main sides, obviously, because City are now on an incredible run of winning games.
Well, that's the thing. They are only 2 points behind Arsenal. Also, a big game later, which we will get to. Aston Villa against Chelsea. So Aston Villa currently only 3 points off Arsenal. Chelsea are 10 back. But for Arsenal, you feel as though they need to win just to make sure they can widen that gap, especially ahead of the big game at 5:30 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mention Villa too much because I've got a real soft spot for the Villa because I think it's a terrific football club and where they are is extraordinary.
Yeah.
Being close to Manchester City with all their finance and what Arsenal have done in recent seasons and Villa on their coattails, that is wow. And the run that they've been on as well, they've been brilliant in recent months, Villa. Absolutely sensational. And so they've got a tough encounter because they're going to the bridge.
Yeah, they are.
You know, so the top four there's going to be a lot happening over this period.
It's an exciting day.
Yeah,
Premier League
day.
football. It's also been a good day for England in the cricket, in the Ashes, because they finally won their first test out in Australia for the first time since 2011. So to discuss all of that, who better to speak to than the former assistant coach to the England cricket team? It's Paul Farbrace. Good morning, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Good morning. How are you all? Fantastic. What a great night. Finally.
Finally, we got there. Something to smile about. What did you make of the performance?
Well, it's been a brilliant 2 days. I mean, everything that's gone on around the England team, the noise, the distraction around whether they should have gone on holiday for a couple of days where they had a pint of lager and they win a game. I mean, that is the best way that they could possibly have replied to all the noise and all the nonsense that's been going on. It really is. It's a great win. You know, Boxing Day test, 98,000 people there watching for the 2 days. What a great way to go and win a game.
Yeah, and Paul, you know, when you've taken a battering, not just as in the results, but also what the media obviously document on a daily basis and how you lose. And the last couple of days have been bonkers. You know, seeing the amount of wickets that have gone so quickly.
I mean, yesterday, watching the first day, the ball was nipping around all over the place. And then, you know, even this morning, watching the first 2 hours, I thought it would settle down. But the ball, some of the deliveries, Carl's bowler delivery, that just took off from absolutely nowhere. I mean, you literally, you had your heart in your mouth as a batter. You know, you had to score whilst you could because there was a ball with your name on it. If you didn't score runs, literally, you were gone. And that's how the game continued. You know, some days, the first day it nips around, it's a bit of fresh wicket, there's live grass. And I thought maybe second day it would calm down a little bit. He didn't. He did it, but he did it quicker. With the sun on it on the first day, it made everything happen so much quicker. And remarkable, really. I mean, what a couple of days. It's amazing, though. You know, there'll be people saying, oh, you know, we've been robbed of 3 days of Test match cricket. If you've been inside the MCG for the last 2 days, it'll be one of those, wow, I was there moments. It's been a fantastic 2 days.
One of the surprises this morning when I woke up was seeing Cars come in at number 3. Can you tell us the thinking behind that?
I reckon it was a case of let's get someone in whilst the ball's still hard. Let's get someone in who, if they get out, it's not the end of the world, and try and save the batters until the ball maybe gets a little bit softer. I think probably that was the thinking behind it. I mean, you know, get in, swing, have a swing, try and get a few runs if you can. Whatever you get will be an absolute bonus. But, you know, that's probably the thinking behind it. I mean, with this England team, there's a lot of unpredictability, a lot of outside of the box thinking. And that would have been when I saw exactly the same, I thought, well, if he gets a quick 20 here, then that's an absolute bonus.
Paul, what did you make of what's the thinking, do you think, behind Australia as well? Because obviously they've won the series, but the last couple of days, how do you think they'll be reacting from that?
Well, there's always the element that when you win the series, you know, you mentally you do take the foot off the gas a little bit. Equally, they'll have wanted to be England, and they won't want you to lose at home at the MCG. There's no way in the world they'll want you to lose, you know. So they'll be really disappointed because they would have definitely been trying to win 5-0, and they certainly won't want England to win there. I mean, you know, that's been what, as you said earlier, 18 years or something since England last. What is it? Since England last won a Test match.
Yeah, won a Test match since 2011 in Australia. Yeah.
I mean, you know, I went there with the team in 2017. We lost 4-0. You know, it's horrible. They don't want you to win. The crowd don't want you to win. The Australian media don't want you to win. So for England to bounce back with everything that's been going on, fantastic. But also, I don't care. It's lovely to beat Australia in Australia. It really is.
So what do you think this will do to the group's confidence heading into that 5th and final test in Sydney?
Well, partly it will be a case of it's almost a repeat of the first Test match in Perth. And it will actually hurt them to a certain extent. There'll be a lot of pleasure to have won the game. Of course there will. And finally to have won a Test match in Australia. There'll be people in that group saying, if only we'd have played as well as this, if we'd finished the game off and played the 2 days back-to-back when they had the chance in Perth. You know, a day and a half in Perth, only one team winning, that was England. And one bad session cost them the Test match. So to bounce back with all of the pressure they've been under, all the noise that's been going on around them, it would have done them the world of good. And I wouldn't be at all surprised now to see them go on and win the Test match in Sydney, because I think it really will give them a huge boost, and it will take a lot of pressure off them. But equally, as I said, it will be frustrating because they'll know that they absolutely had a chance to have done this 3 Test matches ago and gone 1 up in the series. So it'll be a bit mixed probably in that changing room.
Paul, your man in the match from an England perspective, because obviously someone produces an innings or a bowling, just hitting it on the day. Who would you have given it to?
Oh, Aki. I mean, to be fair, I thought Tongue was absolutely outstanding in the first innings, the way that he bowled. I thought he was magnificent. So, I mean, I probably would go with him. There's a part of me that was very pleased to see Duckett and Bethel get 40 and 30 today, because they're 2 that have probably copped the most stick from the media from their alleged late night behaviour over the last week or so. But that's part of me for thinking, yeah, it was great that those 2 boys have actually put their hand up. But probably Tongue, for the way he bowled in the first innings, superb.
Yeah. Brilliant, Paul.
Paul, thank you so much for coming on Weekend Sports Breakfast, especially nice and early during the festive period. So really appreciate you coming on. Right, you're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast this Saturday morning. England winning that 4th test by 4 wickets. Finally, we've got some good news to talk about with the cricket and the 5th and final test in Sydney coming up very shortly. Right, coming up next, we're going to be chatting about Liverpool ahead of their game against Wolves. Arne Slot also not happy about losing Alexander Isak to injury and for a couple of months. Find out why next. morning. This is Weekend Sports Breakfast. I'm Katie Shanahan alongside Tony Cascarino. Hope you're all enjoying your festive period, enjoying plenty of turkey. If you're anything like me, I am still full. I am still eating turkey every single day. I've got turkey sandwiches set and ready for my lunchtime.
Do you love the stuffing as well?
I do love the stuffing. Oh, you know what?
I've
got so much stuffing left in my fridge. It's actually quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to have all this stuffing.
I mean, I know a lot of people talk about it, but the turkey and stuffing sandwich the day after is just glorious.
It's just great with some cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right, here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this Saturday morning. Bristol City moved into the Championship playoff places with a 2-1 victory at West Brom. As for the darts, Luke Littler says he's expecting the worst from Mensur Suljovic when they meet in the third round of the World Darts Championship. Full coverage is live for you on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel this afternoon. 12:30 is the session, and also you've got 7 o'clock. You can listen to talkSPORT 2 from this evening. And John Terry has emerged as a contender to be handed his first ever managerial job as the potential next Oxford United boss. Now, recently, Oxford sacked their boss, Gary Rowett, 2 days before Christmas. And then they had their interim manager, Craig Short, in charge for their Boxing Day game. And Terry has said he would be interested in making the step up to management one day, as he told talkSPORT Breakfast last summer.
When I left Villa, I had to leave for personal reasons, for family reasons and stuff, but which I love my time at Villa, I love coaching. After 3 years, I was ready to be a manager, so I come away, kind of reset with the family a little bit, and then I had a couple of interviews, Ali. Was quite disappointing, actually. Like, every interview I come away from was, you have no experience as a number one, and I'm like, okay, how do I get that? I'm keen to get in, I want to go in, needs to be the right team. I think the longer I leave it, the kind of less likely it is to happen. I still have a dream. I'd love to go in at Chelsea one day. Does that happen without me doing the other levels? No, it probably doesn't.
So Oxford United are just flirting with relegation at the moment in the Championship. They're level on points with Portsmouth, just a place above the drop zone. If you're going into a job, if you're John Terry, is this a good time to be taking over a club who are struggling at the moment?
Well, first of all, he's got to go in management, like he touched on. And look, John's 45 now. So he's been retired quite a few years. And yes, he's done the assistant role, like he said. But he's got to have a job, and he's going to have to overachieve. I mean, it's a tough gig when you're going down to even the Championship or League One or League Two. If you're getting your first opportunity. Now, Frank Lampard had his first opportunity at Derby and done well. You know, they didn't get promoted, but he got them in the playoffs. And he's had a really tough gig in Chelsea because he had the embargo.
2 spells.
Yeah, at Chelsea, but he had the embargo, didn't he, at Chelsea, which was a real challenge for him. And, you know, Everton was tricky, but he's found his feet again and doing a great job at Coventry. And John is absolutely right. He's going to have to earn his stripes. He's going to have to overachieve with Oxford. Yeah. So whether that means going to Oxford, doing really, really well, like he said, his one-day ambition, because Chelsea fans would love to have John Terry.
Absolutely.
You know, they would. Fans are very passionate about great players that play for their clubs and legends that one day they want them to be the manager. And John that would be his desire, to manage Chelsea one day. That's his ultimate goal. But you've got to do all the groundwork. And that groundwork starts at 45 is quite late. You know, if you think of Unsula and who in his early 30s and many other managers who have started their management, you know, process at a very late age, because 45 without having a job as a manager is quite old.
Well, Oxford actually beat Southampton yesterday 2-1. So, you know, Craig Short was in interim charge. But, yeah, Oxford United will be looking for a manager.
There will be a pair of people who will say to John, be careful the job you take. Be very careful, because if it fails, where do you go from if you lose your job from Oxford? You know, you're going to be battling all the way. So he's got to make sure, he's got to be totally convinced that the Oxford job is one that he can do well with. That means in the recruitment he can bring in, the type of players, and build the football club. If he achieves that, then obviously things open up for John Terry. But at the moment, he's got a long way to go, because he's got to keep them in the Championship, hasn't he?
Yeah, but you'd think a player of his calibre and his legendary status would have plenty of options if he, you know, pushes that button and say, right, I want to go into
the only thing, from my experience, and I've got friends who are managers and have done management jobs, it isn't so obvious of how to be successful because doors got shut on you as well.
Right.
It's not always open doors. He might not be able to go back to Chelsea and like Lampard went with Mason Mount, didn't he? And tomorrow when he had a couple of young lads, that door's not always open. So he's going to find it tricky, Katie. He's going to have to learn management really, really quickly.
Let's move on to the other game that's happening today in terms of Liverpool against Wolves. It's happening at Anfield this afternoon as they welcome, Wolves, bottom of the Premier League. So Liverpool currently sit in 6th. They are 10 points off Arsenal and then up against Wolves. Now, before we get into the actual bits of the game, just to start, Cass, this will be the first meeting between the two sides since the tragic passing of the winger Diogo Jota, who, of course, was a key player for both of these teams. Now, a really, really lovely touch from both clubs. Two of Diogo Jota's 3 children will actually be joining the matchday mascots on the pitch just before kick-off. I think it's going to be a really emotional moment for everyone in the stadium, but the family.
Yeah, from both sets of fans. You know, Jota was loved at Wolves as well. You know, he did a fantastic job for them. And then got to Liverpool. Absolutely trust him on the football field. That was one of his biggest qualities. He was a player that would always give his all. And, you know, we use that and say, well, that's an obvious. You should always be trying. But I always found he was feisty. He had that. He was tenacious. That's the sort of player Jota was. And he's one of them players that got to where he did because of how hungry, how much desire and motivation he had in his belly.
And he saved Liverpool on a number of occasions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Scoring late.
Big goals. He was a good finisher. Good finisher. Liverpool were a better team when he was involved. And, you know, the year that Liverpool fell apart, I remember being at Brentford and he got injured and he didn't play. He missed quite a number of games and Liverpool didn't play towards the end of that season very, very well. It's a big loss. Look, but honour him today and everything that goes with it, because he was a terrific footballer for both clubs.
As for the game, Liverpool beat Tottenham recently, a 2-1 victory there. But
couple of clean sheets.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Yeah, now, I'm going to be the ultimate fan today, right? Because I look at this game and I think I'm pretty optimistic on most things. But I the other day I woke up and I thought, imagine if Sunday or Monday morning, imagine tomorrow morning we came in and Wolves have got a result at Anfield. Now, it seems unthinkable.
That does seem unthinkable. They're currently on 2 points.
I know. But what would be the fallout if Liverpool got beat by Wolves? This is how I'm thinking, because Liverpool...
But they're at home.
Yes, I know. But Liverpool this season have been unrecognisable. If you take away the first 5 games of the season where they got accumulated loads of points, but didn't particularly play that well. But I just felt, imagine what it would be like if Wolves got their first victory at Anfield, who were the title winners of last season, and the way that Wolves played at Arsenal, which was unrecognisable, I've not played like that at all this year. So I'm thinking, they're going to do the same formation that they did at Arsenal, they're going to do at Liverpool, and it might pay them dividends. I know, because under normal circumstances, you think Liverpool will win this. But Liverpool got a number of injuries as well.
Yeah, they do. And they're missing, obviously, Mo Salah, Isak due to injury. Do you think we can see the best of Florian Wirtz in this spell with those?
Been better. There's no doubt he's been better. He's a very gifted lad who can see the little intricate passes. Liverpool's game has changed slightly because there's a lot of short passes going on. Well, at one time, Liverpool would be a bit longer in the way they would, especially from the back positions. Improvement by Liverpool. I didn't think Liverpool were good at Spurs.
Okay.
Even though they won, I didn't think they played well at all. I thought the first 45 minutes was one of the worst 45 minutes I've seen between Spurs and Liverpool. It was a non-event for 45 minutes. And it all changed in the second half. Obviously, Isak scored and got injured. There was decisions, sending offs, and, all that happened in the second half. First half, dreadful. Yeah. I don't think Liverpool are nowhere near what they were last season so far.
So what are you expecting from this game in terms of what you're predicting? You go with the Wolves win?
No, I'm not going with Wolves. I'll never predict that they'll win. But I just had this bad feeling of, because I kept thinking of how they played at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Which
I remember watching
stopped Arsenal.
And as an Arsenal fan, I was watching with other Arsenal fans. We were just staring at it going, no.
Well, it looked an obvious 3-0, 4-0, didn't it?
Yeah.
It looked back before the game. And then Wolves set up, with like this formation of that was very much defensive minded, but still offered an odd threat.
Yeah. So what's your
well.
prediction for Liverpool Wolves?
I go home win, but
there we go.
No, I'm going home win, but
Despite all
I
of that
actually
build-up.
do feel quite anxious about this particular game because I can think they're going to win. They're going to win one game this season.
Yeah,
they're going to.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's see what happens. That is at 3:00, Liverpool against Wolves. Right, don't go anywhere because we're going to be discussing a huge game in the title race. Chelsea up against Aston Villa at 5:30. All of that coming up next here on Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. This feel familiar?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top of football refereeing? Every referee starts with their county FA. It's a simple training course and you can take it as soon as you hit your 14th birthday. Once you've done that, you have to go through at least 11 hours of face-to-face training. You'll then graduate as a Level 7 official, which means you can take charge of county-level games. But hold your horses, there's still a long way to go to get to the Premier League. Your next step is to spend a year each at Levels 6, 5 and 4. This covers the top of the amateur game. Only at Level 3 do you start doing Northern Counties or Isthmian League level games, for example. If you've done this all quickly, you can reach Level 2 and ref your first National League match after, I don't know, 6 years? After getting enough experience at that level, you can apply to be a referee in the EFL. There's an interview, people watching you do games, and then, if the EFL are happy, you'll be granted a Level 1 licence to ref in games in League 2 and above. Now, they don't just say on you go to the Premier League, you have to work your way up through the divisions. Only after years of hard work and refereeing on cold Tuesday nights in Stoke can you be considered to do matches in some of Europe's very best stadiums. Now, who was the youngest to reach the very top? It was actually Michael Oliver. He refed his first Premier League match in 2010 at the tender age of just 25. So if you want to follow in his footsteps, crack on. It'll only take you roughly a decade, thousands of hours of work and an incredibly thick skin. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough for the top flight. That means there's not even a 1 in 1,000 chance you'll even make it in. Obviously, referees can make mistakes, but when you think about it, having a go at them is kind of like slating a brain surgeon.
This is Weekend Sports Breakfast live on YouTube or on your smart TV and, of course, on your radio too. I'm Katie Shanahan, and alongside me is the former Millwall and Chelsea striker, Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Good morning. Right, 3 points and a clean sheet for Manchester United on Boxing Day. Yes, they beat Newcastle live on talkSPORT.
Got Podorgo who parries it. Oh, brilliantly. On the volley.
What a goal.
Yes, it was the first Man United goal for Patrick Dorgu. What a hit that was. Took it on the volley so well. Aston Villa take on Chelsea in a huge clash for their title credentials. And talkSPORT's Gabby Abondahor didn't hold back on his praise of Unai Emery.
What he's done has been remarkable. I think even a statue worth. That's how good.
You've gone early in the statue.
Because I know it's coming, Ali. I know that this season Aston Villa will win the trophy.
Is Gabby right? Does Emery really deserve a statue? I think he needs to win a few more trophies, don't you? Well, Brighton face the league leaders Arsenal, with manager Fabian Heartzer confident his team are capable of rising to any challenge.
I see a team with a lot of effort. I see a team training hard. I see a team with big potential, and we proved it in every game so far that we can beat every team.
And of course, you can get involved in the show. Text me 81089, which plenty of you have done this morning, or you can give me a call 03717 223344 ahead of a really busy day of Premier League football. This is Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. So, we've had lots of texts regarding what is your favourite chocolate bar in the Christmas celebrations box, because I'm sure plenty of us have had plenty chocolate this Christmas. I've been surrounded by Bounty people, which I cannot believe. Cash, you're a big Red Bounty bar man. But we've also had this text regarding your story earlier, which I thought was wonderful. It says, this is from... Oh, no, they haven't said a name. Oh, anyway, it's a brilliant text. Funny thing on Tony's story, I've recently found out that Daniel O'Donnell is actually my granddad's cousin. And also, my granddad was cousins with my chemistry teacher at school. And none of us knew until we went to a family funeral, like you were saying in your story earlier. And my chemistry teacher, who hated me, walked in and gave my granddad a cuddle. Wow, as a 15-year-old boy at the time, and knowing how I behaved in his class, made my blood run cold. Anyway, have a great day and Happy New Year. So, yeah, that kind of sings true to what you were saying earlier.
Yeah. Well, it was a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
You know, like I said,
celebrities turning up in unexpected areas. Yeah.
Well, unexpected, going to a funeral of a fan of his all her life. My friend's mum was a fan all her life of Daniel O'Donnell. So Him to turn up at the funeral was just extraordinary.
Yeah, that really is amazing. So, never meet him.
I mean, he's, like I said,
Daniel O'Donnell.
He's incredibly well known in Ireland and other parts of the world,
Yes. Right, Chelsea welcome Aston Villa to Stamford Bridge. The Blues are looking to steady the ship after a mixed run of results, while Villa, they're flying at the moment. 10 runs in all competitions at the moment. Absolutely flying, unbeaten in 10 and full of confidence under Unai Emery. As for Enzo Maresca's team, they are already 7 points behind surprise title contenders who could end the day joint top of the table. Let's hear from Enzo Maresca now, who plays down any suggestion of problems between himself and the board after his comments.
Before Newcastle game, in the press conference, I said that we had a meeting, that the relation is good, and we all focus on Aston Villa game, the next game. So nothing to add.
So let's get more on this from a man who played for both sides and former teammate of Cass's, and someone I believe you've known each other since you're 11 years old. It's a very good morning to Andy Townsend. Good morning.
Morning, Katie. Morning, Cass. How we doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Andy. I'm just thinking, I'll give it to you, Andy. It's the Andy Townsend derby, not the Tony Cascarino derby, because you captained both teams, didn't you?
Well, John Terry did as well.
Oh, yes. All right.
Yeah, JT did. So, listen, mate, look, I'm really looking forward to the game today. I think this has got the potential to be a cracking game. Really, really good one to watch.
And tell us, I mean, look, watching Villa and how they've progressed and keep getting win after win in different ways, it always seems to be dramatic, but like they did against Arsenal, we've seen other games where like Morgan Rogers has stepped up and delivered. Tell us how you've seen the Villa in the last couple of months, the difference from the early Villa this season.
Well, look, I mean, the difference between the early Villa at the start of the season is, I mean, so the transformation is total. Obviously, they came into the season with a few question marks over a few key players after a summer that was tricky for them because of all the financial fair play situation, etc. So that wasn't easy. Got off to a very slow, bit of a sluggish start, but just lately, Cass, they've been absolutely amazing. I've seen a lot of the team this season. I really have. And they've got a way of playing that they absolutely trust and that they all stick to. They've got a manager who's obsessed with fine detail and making sure that they're prepared as well as any team possibly could be. And now they've got just that little bit of star quality. They've got people like Morgan Rogers who can make the difference in these matches. So they're playing really, really well at the moment. The great thing for Villa going to the Bridge today is that they don't have to be playing absolute. They haven't got to always bring their A game to the party in order to get a win, because they're very well structured. He uses the substitutions wisely. When the players come on, they want to come on and make a difference, and they're just a really, really good team to watch. And when they really are playing, they're a fantastic watch. They really are.
Andy, I'm fascinated to see Cole Palmer up against Morgan Rogers.
Yeah.
If you were Thomas Tuchel, just an easy question for you at 8:12 this morning, which one would you take in your England team for the World Cup?
Oh dear. Well, look, you take them both, Katie. You take them both. Which one starts? Yeah, I mean, I'd said about Morgan Rogers at the start of this season. I think we all saw last year how good he could be. I said, look, does Morgan want to just go to the World Cup, or does he want to start? Does he want to play in the World Cup finals? Because that's what is there for him. He's capable of that. Right now, if it was tomorrow, they were packing their bags and going, then obviously Morgan Rogers is the one that starts. There's a lot of football to be played between now and the end of the season. A lot of things can happen. Look, everybody's already talking about the possibilities of what Thomas Tuchel's going to do. There'll be situations he's got to deal with. There'll be injuries. There'll be one or two that are touch and go, whether they're going to make the plane. That's just always the way it is. But let me tell you, what an amazing problem for him to have. The one good thing about Tuchel is he won't try and shoehorn them all in, Katie. He won't try and play them all just because they're all great players. I don't think he does that. He's not that sort of bloke. I think he'll make a call and he'll go with it. And if Morgan Rogers starts and he don't produce, then he'll leave him out and he'll put Cole Palmer in. He won't mess about.
And tell us about Chelsea. I mean, you've seen him again. I can't work out if they're a really good team or not so good. Every time I see them, in a game, I see some great stuff and then some really poor stuff.
Yeah, no, it's true. again, when I spoke about Chelsea earlier on this season, I said I think they'll be there or thereabouts in most of the competitions they go for. I'm just not sure whether they'll actually end up with anything in their back pocket, and I kind of still stick by that. Great last week to be 2 down up at Newcastle and turn that one round. To come back and get a point shows that they've got plenty about them. I think Reece James has been really good in the middle of the park just of late. I think he's been excellent. But you're never quite sure, not quite sure today. One thing I think they all know today, the Chelsea boys, is that they got to play very well to knock Villa over today. They know that. If they turn up and they're not quite there or not quite at it, they'll get beat.
Well, that's the thing. Chelsea have only won 2 of their last 7, Andy, and I suppose it's what kind of Chelsea side is going to turn up today, because, like you say, they're going to need to against this Aston Villa side who are in red-hot form. Yeah, no,
that goes without saying, Katie. And I think that, again, in these sort of games, you're looking for your key boys to really start and really perform and really show that they can make the difference. They got lots of players, Chelsea, that can do that. They got lots of players there that are really talented and on any given day can give any team serious issues. But today's one of those days. If they don't win today, they're 10 behind. Or if Villa win today, should I say, Chelsea are going to find themselves 10 behind, and that's going to be too much to claw back. So it's a big game for the Blues today. And look, they're capable of winning it. Of course they are, because they can, as I just mentioned, they got boys that are more than capable. They're going to have to play really well to do it.
Andy, you've been picking at the chocolates.
Do you know what? I'm glad Pep ain't round here with the scales, Tone. I'm glad he ain't in our house with a set of scales.
Would you not be playing?
Oh, my goodness. I'd just hold my hands up, I think. And I wouldn't even step on them.
You wouldn't take your T-shirt off, Ed?
No
Pick up the scales and walk away.
It does make me laugh, because me and Kate were talking about the chocolate, the celebrations and what ones I like. And I kept thinking, as Kate's talking, I'm thinking Republic of Ireland days when we had the boxes of chocolates being delivered all the time on international duty.
Honestly, it was the only time we weren't eating or drinking with the Ireland team was when the whistle went. The rest of the time, we've either got a pint of Guinness in our hand or a handful of chocolate. So
sounds amazing. God. Living the dream.
I tell you, yeah, it was. But no. Listen, it's always a bit of a tough time, isn't it, for lads and for players. It was always a bit of a tester how much you want to indulge.
Yeah. What, are you a bounty man, Andy?
Do you know what? Cass ain't going to believe this, Katie. I've given up chocolate, Tone.
No.
Wow. When did that
Right, for 6 months, I haven't. I don't know why. I've always been a migraine sufferer, right? And I don't know whether it's linked. They often say that chocolate and caffeine and all that can sometimes be a bit of a link. So I just decided to knock it on the head in the summer. And to start with, I mean, every time I went into a petrol garage and filled my car up, I was like crying as I left the shop because I haven't got a bar of dairy milk in my hand. But
well done you for sticking to it for 6 months. Oh no,
I've stuck to it, and to be fair, the last couple of days I've had a couple of little bits, but not a lot. Not a lot.
I did notice you'd become a bit of a miserable state.
You're not wrong. Yeah. Oh, dear.
Oh, well, Andy, enjoy the game today, and thank you so much for getting up early on. I'm very impressed with the no chocolate. That's very, very good. You've inspired me.
Thank you. Merry Christmas,
guys.
Merry
Christmas. Have a great New Year.
Take care.
Brilliant to get Andy on this morning. Right, coming up next, we're going to be looking at the latest odds from Coral, and we'll tell you, get this, which fast food chain is the most nutritious in Britain? Coming up next here on Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Katie Shanahan, alongside Tony Cascarino. A very good morning.
What is feel when love is grown in southern ground?
A very good morning. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, and former Chelsea and Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. So why are we playing this? This is, of course, Chicken Fried by Zach Brown Band. Because according to a recent study, a light story for you this morning, KFC has been named Britain's most nutritionally balanced fast food chain. Get this. It scored a remarkable 81%. Nando's was second,
right,
77%, and Subway finishing third in 76%. Are you a KFC fan, Cass?
Used to be, not so much in.
Oh.
I love the barbecue beans.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever get one of those big buckets?
No, but my other half told me, no, you're not having any of that anymore.
Oh.
Stopping me.
You're not going to be Andy Townsend and stopping chicken.
It's as you get older, it's really, honestly, Kate, you'll find as you get older, it's just so hard to keep the weight off because you can't train like you once did. So there's only one solution: is you've got to be careful in what you eat. So takeaways for me. Look, there's an American burger company that I've been to in California and in Vegas, In-N-Out Burgers. I don't think they've got one in London, but they are amazing.
Oh, okay. You'd recommend?
Oh, they're amazing burgers. They're so tasty, and they use real meat, and the chips are real potato, and so they're not as bad. But if you said to me my favourite takeaway, I'd probably go fish and chips.
Fish and chips?
If you get great fish and chips.
You're surprising me this morning. A Bounty Man, fish and chips.
No, but fish and chips is I love
your favourite takeaway?
If you said to me out of all of them,
over like Chinese and Indian.
No, Chinese
and India. If you get good, like a dishu.
Yeah, well, like, I'd probably say
cow.
in front of them, I'd go Thai.
Oh yeah, Thai is
Thai food is really nice, and it's a bit more healthier.
Yeah. So, there's some healthy options.
Yeah, some healthy options, but generally fish and chips. Yeah.
Okay. Bit more turkey on the menu.
Oh, I
today?
love turkey. Yeah.
No, but more today, or have you finished?
I don't think there's anything unless I can find a family member that's still got some spare turkey.
Go round.
My mum used to make turkey soup but my mum's obviously not as well as these days. She doesn't do that anymore.
Turkey sandwiches.
A terrible mum, isn't she?
Turkey sandwiches. I'm going to be having.
Oh yes, absolutely. If I could get a turkey sandwich today, I want one.
Yeah, exactly. Right, let's check in now on the odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Okay, we've got lots to run through with the fabulous John Hill. A very good morning, John.
Hi, John.
Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Cass. You're making me very hungry this morning, Katie. I have to save all this food talk here. I know it's only 8:25, but I wouldn't mind some of this food you're talking about.
Well, it's been all chocolate and then fast food. We're not doing
well, that's it, isn't it?
And it's breakfast, so I don't really know what we're doing there.
I'm dreading getting on those scales in the early new year, I have to say. I'm sure I'll put on a good few pounds.
I'm going to have an organic porridge afterwards.
Oh, lovely. Stick some blueberries on there, Cass. And
that's literally what I've been having for breakfast, which Dean Saunders called birdseed, which I didn't appreciate.
You can't beat a good porridge, I have to say.
Yeah. Chelsea, Aston Villa, huge game today,
Oh,
5:30 kick-off. What are the odds for this one?
Yeah, really good game, Katie. Looking forward to this 5:30. And it's going to be a crunch-free day for Aston Villa, isn't it? You know, they've got themselves in this great position in the table, but these tests against Chelsea and Arsenal could define whether they're in this title hunt. So in terms of today's game, Chelsea odds on at 4-5 to prevail at the Bridge. Aston Villa 16-5 to come away with 3 points. That's just a little bit bigger than 3-1. The draw 14-5. But as I say, I've been very impressed with Aston Villa, Cass. But if they can get results over these next 3 games, I think we'll start sitting up and saying that they're really title contenders.
So let's have a look at some other games. I mean, Liverpool are taking on Wolves. Wolves must be the biggest outsiders all season in this game. What price? Are we bigger than 14s for Wolves?
You're not actually. Just 9-1. I thought they'd be bigger. I have to say, Cass. Honestly, 9-1 single figures. Look, Liverpool have been hit and miss, haven't they? They should win comfortably today. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but Liverpool 1-4. Obviously, very disappointing news about Alexander Isak. Cass, that's obviously a big blow, isn't it? Scoring and then obviously that broken leg. So, look, Liverpool one favourites here, as I say, 1-4. But Wolves very much on course for one of the worst records in Premier League history. And then what else we got today? 12:30, Forest versus City. We were talking about the scales this morning. What time is Pep Guardiola weighing his players? Because he warned them, didn't he? He said, I've been weighing you before this match, and everybody that's put on too much weight over Christmas will not be playing. So it'll be interesting to see the weigh-in for this one. It's like a boxing match. City 8-13 to prevail. Forest 19-5, the draw 16-5, and then Arsenal versus Brighton. Arsenal, the leaders, they're 1-3 to prevail against Brighton at 3:00.
Yeah, that game, Nottingham Forest against Man City, is live on talkSPORT from 12:30. I can't imagine Sean Dyche getting the players on scales. I think that's just a Pep thing. As for the racing, any racing today? Great to see Harry Redknapp, which they've gone with the back page of the Sun. Harry Christmas, Harry Redknapp celebrating a last-minute winner as his horse, the Jukebox Man, won a thrilling King George VI shake. A great, great day for Harry Redknapp.
It really was, honestly. Yeah, I watched the racing yesterday. It was almost in tears, Harry, after the race. You know, you think of what he's achieved in football and outside of football. You know, I'm a celebrity jungle success, all those sorts of things. That meant so much for him yesterday. And it really was a thrilling race, Katie. There was 4 or 5 horses in with a chance after the final fence at Kempton, and the Jukebox Man just found that little bit extra. Ben Jones on board gave it a brilliant ride, and to win the King George, that really is a huge success for Harry Redknapp. So congratulations
7-1,
to him. It was 7-1. Yeah, decent price, really. Yeah. And, you know, so congratulations to all them involved. In terms of today, it's a big day in Wales today. It's the Coral Welsh Grand National at Chepstow. So this is one of their biggest days of the year. There'll be a huge crowd there in South Wales at Chepstow for this race. Jubilee Express is the 5-1 favourite. The local trainer, Sam Thomas. So it's going to be about stamina, 3 miles, 6 furlongs to distance. So it's a real stamina test at Chepstow. But yeah, it should be a great day there. And hopefully, as I say, the race will be as good as yesterday, because it really was fantastic action yesterday.
Yeah, really, really pleased for him. Harry Redknapp saying in that interview, you know, it was a dream. Like you say, it was really emotional at the end. And he says, you know, it was just honoured to have a runner, you know.
That's right.
Let alone
absolutely.
winning it. So really emotional, Harry Redknapp. Really pleased for him. Thank you, John, so much for your time this morning. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'm sure we'll speak to you very soon. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+, begambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18+, max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Okay, you're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, alongside Tony Cascarino. Up next, we're going to be looking ahead to Nottingham Forest against Man City, which is our 12:30 kickoff here on talkSPORT. A very good morning. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, alongside former Millwall and Marseille striker Tony Cascarino. If you're just tuning in, good news regarding the cricket, because England won the fourth Ashes Test by 4 wickets. They finished on 178 for 6, so sealing their first test in Australia since 2011. Finally, some good news regarding the cricket as they head into their 5th and final test in Sydney. We've also been asking you this morning about what is your favourite chocolate celebration. Don't know about you, but I've been eating so much chocolate this Christmas. So yeah, what is your favourite chocolate bar? Cass is a Bounty man. I'm a Mars woman. So we would love to know. Apparently those are very controversial, which I didn't think so. What are your favourite chocolates in the celebrations box? Right, still loads to come on a busy day here on talkSPORT with plenty of Premier League action. Coming up at 9 o'clock, it's the Game Day warm-up with Max Rushton and Charlie Baker. Game Day exclusive is coming up at 11 a.m. live and exclusive commentary of Nottingham Forest against Man City, which will kick off at 12:30. A preview coming up next. At 2:30, it's Game Day live with Adrian Durham, who had a very busy day yesterday, didn't he? Well, he's going all around the grounds in the Premier League this afternoon. As for Game Day phone-in, that's at 5:30 with Jamie O'Hara, who enjoyed a winner at the races yesterday. He's going to be alongside Jermaine Pennant, taking all your calls. And the Rory Jennings Show starts from 7:30 p.m. And then rounding up the evening here on talkSPORT at 9 p.m. It's the Fight Night with Adam Catterall, deep diving into the world of boxing. And the best way to keep across all of the sport today is, of course, keep talkSPORT just bubbling away in the background. But next up, it's a huge one at the City Ground as Nottingham Forest host Man City, which is live for you on talkSPORT at 12:30. As for the game, Forest have won 6 of their last 9 in all competitions. But City arrive in red, hot title form and probably a little bit light as none of them were unable to enjoy any Christmas dinners, with Pep Guardiola making sure that they stayed fit and form. And a win here could see them leapfrog Arsenal at the top of the table. Ahead of the game, Forest players also held a minute's silence in training after the very sad passing of club legend John Robertson, a European Cup hero and one of the greats who died this week at the age of 72. A word, Cass, on he was some player for Forest, wasn't he? And also the penalty spot king, scoring for Scotland against England at Wembley.
Well, look, there's a headline in the paper. Scruffy, unfit genius, did not get the kudos he deserved at home. Extraordinary player. Obviously, he was a generation before me, but John Robertson was a central midfielder that Cloughie played left wing. And he made 2 goals in European finals. He didn't look like an obvious footballer, you know, with the fitness that you see today. But there's so many stories about John Robertson. That's how gifted he was.
And the perfect person to speak to right now is former Nottingham Forest forward and former teammate of John. It's a very good morning to Gary Birtles. Good morning, Gary.
Hello, Gary.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to you and all that.
Yeah, good, Gary. Tell us, because obviously there's lots of stories, I'm sure, on John Robertson, but I was saying, for me, from the coaching side, that Cloughie even saw him as a central midfielder, then go, no, left wing.
Well, yeah, when Brian arrived, John was central midfield, but they saw the potential, I think, in what he could do, what he was able to achieve. Put him on the left wing, right footer. You know, great 2-footed player, and as a striker, an absolute joy to be able to play with somebody like that who delivered, consistently. For a striker, you ask Tony Woodcock and Peter With, who played with him as well. Yeah. They'd say the same. Strikers are beholden on the service, and his was second to none.
Yeah, he was a one-off, wasn't he? John Robertson's even if you looked at him physically, he looked unfit. But he used to get half a yard and just whipping unbelievable balls into the box.
Yeah, I mean, he hated training. He wouldn't mind me saying that. It was the pre-season training. He just
then becomes a coach.
Yeah, I hated, and he was the gaffer's favourite. So he used to get a 500-yard head start from the rest of us. Running up a hill, he was 500 yards in front. But give him a ball, and he loved that. He hated the running side of it, the hard yards. But put a ball at his feet, he was genius. And the best player I ever played with, without a doubt. And ask anybody else at Forest who played there, they say, he's the best player Forest have ever had. And, it's great to see the club naming the stand after him, which will be, a great accolade for him.
Yeah, you'd like to think that he'd be honoured before today's game. And like you say, his stand is also set to be named after the legend at the City Ground, and plenty of tributes coming in as well. What can you tell us about maybe a story about what he was like off the field as well?
Well, we had a Thursday club, where all the ex-players go on a Thursday afternoon. We meet in Westbridge, just around the corner from the ground. And he knows every word to every Rolling Stones song. He'll just start singing. He loved Kate Bush as well. Brian Ferry was, a big idol of his, and he loved telling jokes. And he always laughed at his own jokes. They were funny the way he told them. He was just an all-round top bloke. Genius on the pitch, but just such a top bloke off it. Funny, a great company to be with, and we're just all so sad at the loss.
As for the game today, Nottingham Forest have had a rollercoaster run, haven't they? But do you think they can handle Man City's firepower at home?
Well, they've done it in the past. They seem to do well against the top sides. Fulham, it was not a particularly good game. Big bogey side for Forest, along with Bournemouth. We can't seem to beat either of them. But we've beaten Liverpool at Anfield. We beat Tottenham the other week. And, who's to say we can't go, and win against Manchester City? The squad is very good. It's great to see what the manager's doing. It won't be a surprise to me if, we get a result today.
Well, with players away, that you lose sometimes. Lost a couple of players to the AFCON, but like you said, big results against other big sides. So a lot to be hopeful for Forest fans today.
Yeah, we've still got a few injury problems. Obviously, Chris Wood's been a big miss. Einder's coming back. I'm not sure if he's in the squad or whatever, but I think his fitness levels are picking up again. I think we've got Sangari away and Willy Bolly away at the African Cup of Nations. But everybody else seems fit and well, and there's a real good mix in that team at the moment. You've got Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson, who's been superb this season, and Amari Hutchinson's been coming in and creating problems in wide areas, similar to last season with Langer and Hudson-Odoi. So there's quite a bit of pace in there, and it'll just be very interesting today to see how it goes.
Arsenal host Brighton today. Man City obviously playing Nottingham Forest. Man City 2 points behind Arsenal. Do you think they can catch Arsenal this season?
Well, it wouldn't surprise anybody if they did, would it? With what Pep's done at Manchester City, you think you're silly to write them off. Liverpool's decline from last season, I think has surprised a few people. But Manchester City just seem to be turning things around. They're putting the pressure on, keeping the pressure on. And, it's Arsenal's to lose. And, we've seen them struggle in previous seasons. Everybody thought this would be theirs, but never rule out Manchester City. They've got a quality squad and one of the best strikers in the world, without a doubt.
Gary, really appreciate you coming on the show this morning, and particularly paying tribute to club legend John Robertson. Thank you ever so much.
Cheers, Gary.
And enjoy the rest of your day. Yes, and enjoy the game as well. Right, this is Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Katie Shanahan, alongside Tony Cascarino. Up next, it's time for a bit of fun. This feature, Cascari yes or Cascari no.
26k for 2026 on talkSPORT.
Very good morning. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, alongside the former Chelsea and Villa striker, Tony Cascarino. What a game that is later on this evening. Chelsea against Villa, 5:30 kickoff in the Premier League. Right, this very dramatic music means the talkSPORT is already looking ahead to a very exciting year 2026 will bring. And we're giving you the chance to win a massive £26,000. And what better way to kick off 2026 than with some serious cash? Yep, 26 grand. It's our biggest New Year cash giveaway and it could be yours. It's 26k for 2026. Here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call the number, tricky one this one, 0343 423 9761. That's 0343 423 9761. Lines close at 12 p.m. on the 9th of January 2026. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. UK residents only, 18 plus. This is, of course, a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com/win. So for your chance to win, text 83338 now, and a very good luck. Now, there's still a little bit of time left in the show, so let's have a bit of this.
Cascarino yes or Cascarino no?
On the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT.
What?
Yes, it's time for Cascarino yes or Cascarino no. This is time to present our very own Tony Cascarino with some of the takes from this past week across the talkSPORT network doing the rounds. So here we go. Amorim formation change. I think I know where you're going to sit on this one. Last night, Ruben Amorim adopted a change in system from his usual 3-4-3 to a 4-2-3-1, which brought much-needed success and a very valuable 3 points against Newcastle. So they beat them 1-0 if you're just tuning in. Last night on Sports Bar Weekender, Carlton Cole says Amorim's formation tweak could be a blueprint moving forward.
It's nice for Manchester United fans to have a look at that table and think, do you know what? I've probably been underestimating this squad. You know?
Have you been underestimating this squad?
No, I just think with time, I never underestimated it. I just think with time, he'll get it right. Tonight, he got it right. And I look at him and I think, yeah, there's still work to be done. It's always been improvements. There's work to be done with his in-game management as well. But this is a step in the right direction.
What do you make of Amorim's formation tweak last night? Back to a back four. Cascarino yes or Cascarino no?
Well, it worked last night, so yes. But I'd also add in had a number of injuries and players not available. But I think he'll revert straight back to the old formation. I just do. Because it was more due to circumstances why he reverted back. And it worked as in keeping a clean sheet. And they suffered in the game in the second half. But, yeah, I thought first half was probably their best defensive performance all season.
OK, this Boxing Day in the Premier League, there was just one game scheduled, a rare break from tradition. Speaking on talkSPORT Breakfast yesterday, Adrian Durham joined myself and Dean Saunders and said the Premier League have missed a trick with only one Boxing Day fixture.
I love the fact that we're focusing on the EFL because it's Boxing Day and there's only one Premier League game tonight. So the daytime belongs to the EFL, no doubt. But I do think that the Premier League have got it wrong. They've got it badly wrong. They've misjudged the public in this country who want Boxing Day football. To have just one Premier League game, they've got it badly wrong.
Where do you sit on this? Cascarino yes or Cascarino?
Well, I sit on this it's all great to have more Boxing Day games and Premier League matches. Unfortunately, you find that there's not a lot of trains running around the country around this period, or there's strikes going on, or so I would give the fans a bit of relief. They find it so often this year, and especially over Christmas from last year. I remember getting around was tricky.
Yeah.
Or doing a big journey up north if you're playing Newcastle away, or it's okay saying, these games, but a lot of fans can't get to these games.
But also, there's the scheduling, isn't there? Because Boxing Day fell on a Friday, the broadcasters probably think, OK, well, the Saturday we'll normally do our Premier League lineup. And I totally get that when it comes to Boxing Day, it's so great seeing everyone go out to the football, and that's a great tradition. But I think it was a great time to just give a lot of love to the EFL.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there, because you get bumper crowds and, some really intriguing games, and it became all about the EFL, which we do neglect too often.
Yes. Okay, so Cascarino, yes or Cascarino no?
What, was it?
On should there be more games, particularly in the Premier League on Boxing Day next season?
I would lie in between on the Premier League, but I was absolutely
Don't sit on the fence. Don't
okay, I'll go with. I'm glad the EFL got the biggest, backing on Boxing Day.
Okay, good. Right, on to Victor Gyökeres sending his big money move to Arsenal from Sporting Lisbon. Victor Gyökeres has struggled to live up to the goal-scoring hype that followed him to the Premier League, scoring with just 5 Premier League goals so far. His form drew sharp criticism from talkSPORT's Rory Jennings. I think this is really harsh. He questions whether he's good enough to lead the Gunners' attack.
Victor Gyökeres is a dud.
Wow. Okay. Why? What?
Why? I mean, I think that we've now seen enough, haven't we? I think there were question marks before he arrived. I got a lot of stick, on this very station before he arrived.
Is that you or me?
Saying, no, that was you. That was you. Lack of professionalism from Shabana Hearn right there.
Not good.
I think that Gyökeres is basically not the player that Arsenal thought they were signing. He's not the player that they need him to be. That's not to say that it will be totally detrimental to their ambitions this year. They have a wonderful team. They have a miserly defence, brilliant attackers, and they can score enough goals with or without Gyökeres.
So, where do you sit on this? That's quite harsh, calling Gyökeres.
Yeah, that's really harsh.
That's really harsh.
Look, has he done brilliantly? No. He's done okay. I would say that's a pretty fair assessment. He's been a 6 out of 10 probably, and maybe a bit more at times. I couldn't say he's a dud. That's way too unfair because
he needs time.
Well, and he's had an injury during the course of the season.
He's only been there 5 minutes.
Exactly, and to say a dud, I just find that Rory's not played the game to a super high level. Okay, I've had bad times in my career. If someone had said to me, you were a dud, and my biggest dud would have been Celtic because I didn't perform at all there, I would still be offended, even though I didn't do well. But a dud is just a bit unfair.
A bit unfair. So, Cascarino, yes or Cascarino?
Well, I'm not agreeing with you.
So a big fat no. Cascarino.
Hey, he might turn the season around for them.
Yeah, he might score 3
goals
today.
He might end up with 15, 20 goals at the end of the season. Might have an incredible run. Would you said Mateta, when he joined Crystal Palace, was a dud? And Mateta's ended up getting loads of goals for
Would
Palace.
Would you call any players a dud, or is that just too harsh? Nicola Pepe, when he came to Arsenal for
really
all that money,
of course,
came for 72 million. Anthony to Man United for 82 million. Didn't
they've done really poorly. But let's give a little bit of, if they were players that didn't care and their attitudes stunk of not even being overly bothered. But, players trying, and sometimes things don't work out for players going to football clubs. It just can be, it seems perfect, but it doesn't work out.
Yeah, well, Ryan here's just texted in saying no Chelsea players scored more goals than Gyökeres this season.
Yeah.
There we go. OK, well, that is all we've got for today. We've also had plenty of text regarding what's the favourite chocolate in the celebrations box. We've had lots of food chat today. We've had this from George from Bexley Heath. He says, great show, Katie and Cass. If I want to be naughty, I'll eat Snickers if I'm on a diet, but I'll eat Bounty as coconut is healthier. We've had so many other people really wanting Boost Bar in the celebrations box.
Yeah, Boost.
I love a Boost. Definitely after exercise as well, but apparently they're not in the celebrations box. That's from Martin, the Liverpool fan. Go well against Wolves today. Plenty of Premier League games coming up for you in the Premier League, including 12:30 right here on talkSPORT. Nottingham Forest up against Man City, which is live for you in the Premier League. You've been listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan and Tony Cascarino here on talkSPORT. What's coming up on the day ahead before I see you bright and early tomorrow?
Look, it's a lot of football today, so I'm catching up on football. First of all, I'm going to get a bit of a rest in, and then, catch up with all the games. And, look, the Villa going to Stamford Bridge is a great one. It's a really good game. I'm looking forward to that.
5:30.
Yeah,
we'll be
5:30.
digesting all of that
game.
same time tomorrow morning here on Weekend Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan and Tony Cascarino. Really look forward to your company tomorrow morning. Have a great day. And up next is the warm-up with the brilliant Max Rushton and Charlie Baker. Have a great day.